Welcome back, everybody. This is Mark 59 of the Super Civil Servants Podcast. My name is Greg, and man, news has been light lately. So we are pulling stuff together for a show. We got a lot of cool things to talk about this week. Just a few things here and there. With me, as always, all my co-hosts, my friends. Start with you, Nathan. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great tonight, Greg. How are you guys all doing tonight? We ready to just kind of fill up an hour worth of time with nonsense, or what? I mean,
well, we usually fill up at least an hour's worth of nonsense, and then the rest of it has somewhat substance to it. But
sure.
Yes.
We usually fill up a good 24 hours of nonsense to say for Twitter.
You're right. You're right.
Sarah, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm kind of been in a little bit of a bubble lately, so with the new job and I'm in-laws down and all that kind of good stuff. So forgive me if I kind of.
Huh?
Well, they came down yesterday. They stay with us, and then they went to the brother-in-law. So, but they'll be back here Wednesday. But,
Right. Sarah was like, "Good riddance." No.
no, I actually like them. Believe it or not, I mean they're cool. They're cool. It's just.
Guests are like fish; they smell after 3 days.
It's okay, Sarah. They're probably not watching.
Oh yeah, I just have a lot going, like with a new job and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm actually come home cooking and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of back into the whole mom mode that I haven't been for the last 8 months. So
The old Wonder Woman.
yeah, absolutely. That's why that's why it took me so long. I just finished up Doom Patrol, before we got on here, which is very uncommon.
Yeah, we had to delay it so I could finish it. So yeah, I totally get what you mean.
But I did watch Stargirl, the first of the week. So yeah, we're good.
There you go. Yeah, it's my Monday show now. But
yeah, absolutely.
Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Busy week. We're trying to figure out what we're doing with schools and sorting that out. Coffee.
Yes.
There you go.
And yes, whoever's watching and listening, this is pure coffee. Trust me.
Right.
And this is not.
Nor is
And
this. Nobody can see my camera. So
this is mommy juice.
That's right.
Yep. All about the coffee. Coffee is my friend these days. Very much so. But yes, let's get into some superheroes and some Doom and some Stargirl. Let's do it all.
Yes,
Let's do it all.
That sounds funny because when you say mommy juice, it sounds, mommy juice gets I'm drinking. When you say daddy juice, it just sounds funny.
Stop it.
I shouldn't say daddy juice. Yeah.
Stop it.
No.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, that did not come out of Nathan's mouth.
Yeah. That was my mind, straight from my mind to the mouth.
Okay, Sarah's responsible for making up for Katie not being here to yell at Nathan. So
She's got a pretty good job.
If my wife comes up to me and goes, something about mommy juice, I'm going to go, whoa, God, yuck, stop. Don't ever say that to me again.
Good. Well, hey, we got a show question this week, y'all. Y'all want to start off with a show question, and then we'll get into some news, and then we'll do some reviews? Cool. JRB, man, hit us up. Let me see if I can. I got to go back to the.
Welcome back, JRB. Where you been? You're our weekly question guy. And you've been radio silent.
Hey, he hit us with a good one this week. He said,
he made up for it.
Yeah. He said Warner Brothers comes up to you and says they want to do a solo DC movie that introduces a new comic book character that has never been on the big screen. They let you choose the character, and they also want recommendations for the actor and director. So. Nathan, I'm passing the baton to you, buddy.
Motherfucker. I've got a list of a couple, actually.
Jeez.
That's why I gave it to you first. Exactly. Yeah.
Now, is this a big screen or does it include small screen as well?
Solo DC movie, so I would assume big screen.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I got two main ones because there's one that there's one we haven't seen. Okay. I know that supposedly, and I believe we will be getting Harry Lennix turning into Manhunter in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But since we haven't seen that yet, and he said that I get the opportunity, I think you could do a Manhunter. I think you could do a Manhunter movie, and let's get Sterling K. Brown in there as the Martian Manhunter.
I like it,
and I just
love
think
that amazing actor. Love the voice.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going. Like, he's got the perfect voice. You know what I mean? He could pull that. He could pull that off perfectly. I think.
I still love him. The idea of him as Jon Stewart, though.
Yeah. Well, okay. I wouldn't sneeze at that either, but I would take him. I'd take him because, like you said, he's got that commanding voice, and I think he could do the mannerisms. And I mean, you could do. And as far as a director, like, oh man, I don't. For that one, I don't know. I'll give you the one for my other one, and then I think my second place would be a Legion of Superheroes show or like movie. Like, let's introduce the Legion. We'll go however many thousands of years in the future it is, where Superman's looked at as the model, but they're you got you got Bouncing Boy and Brainiac 5 and Saturn Girl, and you got all those guys, and I just think you could do a good, late teens, something like that, a good version of that, and get them out there. But the one that I'm officially going with would be a Trinity of Sin movie, which I've also said I would like an HBO Max movie or series of, but I would love to see the Trinity of Sin, which is Pandora, the Phantom Stranger, and Question. And they get chained to like the Rock of Eternia, and they get challenged. I got a book of it where it comes in the New 52 where they did it. But anyway, I just thought that was a fascinating grouping and characters, and to go with it. And casting wise, I really don't have any idea. I would just like to try to get Michael Fassbender in there as either the Question or the Phantom Stranger, just because I don't know why, but I've just had this infatuation with him lately because he's a great actor.
I agree.
I'm not sure.
I really agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and the other two, I'm really not sure, but I think you could go with like you could do like a Jon Favreau to direct it, which I think because he knows how to do ensembles and he could bring it down to earth, but still give you that little bit of, because it's kind of like a darker story, but he could give you a little bit of comedy levity to it. I thought about a Ridley Scott. I think he could pull off some interesting shit, especially when they get chained to the Rock Return. Just some of the creepy shit he could do with that. And then, of course, where would I be if I didn't say Zack Snyder? Because the visuals on that would be amazing. But whatever, he can do what he wants. But that is the one I'm officially going with. Although I would personally like to see it as like a mini series on HBO Max, because I think you could explore it better and get real down and dirty.
Yeah, I agree. You get way more story with the series on HBO Max. So. All right, what about you, Chris?
Sorry, I was not overzealous like Nathan.
Yeah,
we'll give him. He's got a slightly more updated with the New 52. We don't talk about that universe anymore. Outside of Batman.
That's my favorite.
Keep wielding that torch, my friend.
I will. As long as one of us still reads it. It's worth
yes. Oh, excuse me. All right, but I'm going to go with, even though I know the movie is being developed at that point, but nothing's been cast, nothing's been put out there, I'm going to go with Big Barda.
Nice.
I'm going to go with Big Barda. And when I saw Big Barda, at least the versions I've seen and the images, there was actually one name that very, very quickly came to my forefront, and that would be Gina Carano.
Yeah.
She's already got the build. She showed her acting chops and just her physicality and just outstanding work in The Mandalorian. And I'm going to take another pull from The Mandalorian as director as Deborah Chow, who directed her, and I think her debut on The Mandalorian. So not saying Ava DuVernay is going to do any worse by, because the rumor is that working with Tom King, a lot of it's going to be focused on Mr. Miracle and Barda. But
probably Barda first and foremost, but Miracle's there.
That's fine. That's fine. I think she's going to do a great job at that point, but I wanted to just make a different pull at that point, and maybe Big Barda and focused a movie on the Furies and kind of build Jack Kirby's Fourth World. Just build out their own kind of niche.
You can't
in the
see
DC
it right
universe.
now, but my pants are moving. That's a great idea.
Because I am looking at my Absolute Edition. I showed you all in the thing with my mother box slipcase of Kirby's Fourth World. It's part one of that, and gosh, you can't just get any more out there in the DC universe than the Fourth World. I am very excited for when we eventually get to see that.
Ooh.
So that's
let's do an adaptation of Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Let's just go with that, right?
Darn it! Come on, get some Turtle Man in there. Come on, man, let's go crazy. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Get nuts. What about you, Sarah? Got anything?
Well, to be honest with you, I'd like to see a feature that kind of focuses on the Justice Society.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because with Stargirl, they're kind of building on that you already have a history of knowing who they are. Because the first episode gave this big battle and whatnot. But I want to know more about them. I mean, my kid can tell me more about Dr. Fate than I know. And right. I mean, I think that's just him going through, I don't even know. And just kind of develop those characters. That's why I asked if it was something that was in the small screen as well. But I mean, obviously we know who Flash is and Hawkman and all that kind of stuff. But like Dr. Fate, what is it, Dr. Midnight, and just all these other ones. I mean, there's a story there, and I mean, it's other, and pull it from the comic. I mean, I'm not that well versed in it, but I'm really intrigued, and I think just an ensemble like that. I mean, even a Dr. Fate movie. I mean, I think that would be pretty cool. And let's get someone like Favreau. Let's get him in there because I just love Favreau. I just love him.
I agree.
Everything he touches is just fantastic.
Well, I agree with you, Sarah, because I don't know much about the JSA, and I loved it. I mean, like you said, Flash, of course, Hawkman. There's certain characters, but
then you can pepper in the ISA as well. So,
and you also got to remember, y'all talk about some Golden Age stuff here, so y'all talking about just kind of bringing a Golden Age story into this. So
you
I
can
mean,
even do a period piece with it. I'm fine with it. Well, which we'll get to later. But if Black Adam is going to be that period piece and have the JSA in the background, like, I can't wait, because that's going to give, like, for me, especially me and Sarah that don't really know about it, that'll give me a little more context on the characters and seeing them up there.
And there's some great stories out there.
Yeah, I've always been a huge fan of JSA, whether it be Golden Age or even Jeff Johns' run of it. It is outstanding. I've always loved the history behind those characters. So yeah, just you've got me sold. Where can I see this? Where can I see this movie, Sarah? And why can't I see it right now?
COVID-19 is why you can't see it right now.
Yeah,
blaming everything
it's
on that.
Corona. Sorry, it's like everything else has been pushed
Not
back.
good enough. Not good enough.
Maybe 25,
Give
26,
it to me
maybe.
now.
Yeah.
Now.
All right.
2035 theaters will be open again. All right.
I'm playing with words here, and he says DC solo movie of a comic book character that's never been on the big screen.
Yeah.
So I said Green Arrow, because I think this character should, if we're gonna have a Justice League, this guy should be, or a main big universe in the DC world, this guy should be part of it for sure. I imagine a lot of people would love Stephen Amell to come into that role on the big screen because he did such a good job on the TV. But I think you could do something different. I think
it'd be a different world.
Yeah, it's going to be a different world, so a different character. I mean, I'd like almost a different attitude than what he had. And Charlie, what is his name? Hunnam, yeah, from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He looks the role. He could play a really, really good Green Arrow, and of course,
he can play a physical guy.
Yeah, well, you're giving me a choice of director. Put Snyder on it. Put Snyder on it. I guarantee it's going to be good. It's going to look good. It's going to be a good story. So that's my pick right there. I think that he needs to be on the big screen, and I think we eventually will have him on the big screen.
Travis
just for some reason,
fist pumping so hard right now. That's Greg, that's my boy.
But I knew that's what he would answer if he was here. So he'd definitely say Green Arrow, I'm sure. But now he came up with something great. But that was kind of a simple out for me. He just said because I want someone on the big screen. We've seen Arrow for a long time, but I want to see an Oliver Queen on big screen. It'd just be fun. So there you go, JRB. That's all the answers, and that's pretty good stuff we came up with there. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All different answers.
None of us copied each other.
I did it on the
except for Zack Snyder.
Right. We didn't have much prep time. We didn't have much prep time, but we made it work.
Darn right.
All right, well, let's get a little news out of the way then. Not a whole lot going on this week. Talk to me about the Atom Smasher news, Chris.
All right, hold on. Let me pull up the article so I can get the name right. So, Hollywood Reporter, their Heat Vision blog, Boris Kitt broke the story this week that Noah Centineo is joining Dwayne Johnson in the New Line movie Black Adam. He broke out with his role of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Atom Smasher is an interesting pull, but it's also very comic accurate that they're bringing him in because he is a close ally of Black Adam. It's interesting though.
Sorry.
See, Greg, you talked him up.
Dropped a little T-bone in there. I knew as soon as we talking Green Arrow, you come on.
His ears tingled.
He heard Arrow. He's like, what? What?
He got his Peter tingle on.
I can't believe it's been 2 movies and they still haven't said Spider Sense yet.
Yes.
So frustrating.
Greg was just your spirit animal. Your spirit animal, buddy.
I heard it.
Okay.
He's like, oh.
Charlie Hunnam. And there was a Escape from Supermax movie that was trying to get in production in 2006. That's a really good story.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's still floating out there.
Huh? You never know. Maybe one day we'll get it.
Seems like you need a more established universe though, because there's a lot of villain callbacks,
Right.
a lot of villain stuff that would be cool to see.
Yeah, you can introduce a few in a movie like that too. A couple of
Oh
them.
man, then you could have Arsenal and Artemis, and like we could just go the whole Arrow crew. We're not bringing Felicity in. Fuck that bitch. I'm sorry. They should have killed her off so many years ago on Arrow. I'm sorry, Travis, but Felicity said she needed to go years ago.
Oh, that's okay, man. That's your.
I know.
Listen,
I loved her in the beginning. I loved her in the beginning, and then they did too much of that.
The first two
you,
seasons, she was really good.
Yeah, she was excellent the first couple. But by like season 4, I was like, can we just put her in the ground already? Because this is getting old.
Too much will they, won't they?
That's exactly.
But you know what network?
That's
you know
neither
what
here nor
network?
there.
You know what network they were on? Like that's what they did with Black Canary. They kind of ruined Laurel Lance to make it a like kind of a drama type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But
Definitely ruin that character.
In my opinion.
not
sorry.
taken away from the show, but
Yeah.
you know, they could have killed her off season 4, and I'd have been like, yeah, let's go. They should put her in the ground.
Would it have made you keep watching it? Is the question.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, honestly, you know what? That might have been the swing I needed.
Yeah, that might have been Emily Becker Richards being gone.
Season 5 is so good though, Nathan.
I did watch the first 4 episodes of season 5, and I don't know what happened. And they were really good, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
All right, so sorry, Chris, you got interrupted there.
Very good.
man.
We were talking about Adam Smasher and the new
sorry.
Black Adam movie.
Yep, and then Joe May Colette Sarah would be in the director's seat. So they're finally starting to move this around. I mean, I praised Dwayne Johnson for sticking with this for 5+ years. You know, that's commitment there. That's how much he loves this character. That's why I'm very confident this is going to be a very good movie, because this has been his baby. He's been nursing forever. But like I said, Adam Smasher is good. It says to me that this movie is going to jump ahead into present day, because Adam Smasher's, a JSA member at that point. And in comic history, Black Adam does go good for a bit. And when they start when Adam Smasher goes a little too far a few times at that point, Black Adam kind of falls in line with him, saying, hey, they're holding you back. Come with me. Come back to Kandek. And so that's what it says to me. We're going to be jumping ahead in the future with him, because he's immortal.
Yeah, well, my prediction is I think you're right, Chris. I think he will start off in this movie as a good guy, and by the end of it, maybe not necessarily good, but doing the right thing, and by the end of it, it's going to be like, whoa, we need to stop this guy. Now, maybe it doesn't happen in that movie, or maybe they pull one of Greg's favorite movies, like Green Lantern 2011, where at the very end we see him go all dark Adam or whatever.
Or Doctor Strange, same thing. They did the same thing at the end of that movie. It was Mordo. Just saying. Not comparing the movies at all, but go ahead.
Shazam 3. Shazam 3 is when it's
I don't think you're wrong in that assessment, because that's exactly what I was thinking about, in the sense of Sinestro. But the Sinestro and Black Adam, very similar stories in the sense of bringing order to their kingdoms at that point, and doing it through what they ruthlessly punishing the ones who were ruling before, but ends up becoming the same, but they don't see it as such.
Yeah, what the best villains are the ones who truly think they're right, but don't understand the way they're going about it is. So,
but we still don't have a Sinestro focused any kind of thing in proper at this point. So let's see.
Chris, were you saying that Adam Smasher goes over the line and goes to the dark side basically in the comics?
Yeah, he I can't remember the storyline. He goes too far in one of the fights, and I think either seriously injures or kills a villain of some sort. I'd have to look back up. So. There's only so much my head can contain in comic knowledge these days, unless but he's the one who also defended Black Adam when he supposedly turned good. He was one on his side, trying to give him a chance. And so when the society kind of turns on him, Adam Smasher, there's Black Adam there to pick him up, saying, "Hey, let's get out of here." I see what you're doing, and they don't. So
my only exposure to him is Justice League Unlimited, and there he just kind of got his ass kicked in that one episode by the Suicide Squad. But other than that, I mean, I've seen him. That's basically my only exposure to him.
Yeah, Jeff Johns does a good job with his stories that he put on JSA. He's a very sympathetic and very sympathetic character, Adam Smasher. He goes through a lot of stuff in his personal history.
I wonder how deep they're going to get into that. It'll be interesting to see.
We'll see. I'm not expecting too much thing. I just found it interesting they pulled to bring Adam Smasher because, like I said, it just now says that we're jumping forward in time.
Right.
So
Right.
He was a villain in the Flash TV show for an episode as well.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure Edge played him, I think.
Oh yeah.
Good old Edge. North Carolina wrestler right there.
yep.
Big Butt?
Huh?
North Carolina wrestler?
No.
Yeah, he's from North
He's
Carolina.
He's from North Carolina.
No, he's from. I think he's
He's
from
from
Canada.
Canada.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Edge is from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
You're right.
Don't mess-
You're
don't
right.
mess with me on my wrestling knowledge. I know where that dude's from.
Nathan, you're goddamn right.
I listen to them ring announcements for many, many years coming down the road. You know, when they come in the ring, they give that whole spiel.
Yes, I do
Greg.
remember it. I do
Megan
remember as
from
well. But I
Ontario,
kind of pushed it
Canada.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, where's Jim Carrey from? What state is Jim Carrey from?
I don't know.
No,
He's not.
talking about-
Yeah,
Let's just
no
mess with
idea.
it.
See, now I got to look this up because I'm pretty sure.
Mother,
No, they're
come
right.
I know. I
You're
still want to
right.
look it up.
I beat the shit out you. I know my wrestling.
He's not from.
That was my
You know your wrestlers. Do you really know your wrestlers?
He's from
I know. Back in
Organville,
the day.
Canada.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
that's
Well, they
Canada.
building from,
Or
they
not
building
Organville.
from there.
Sorry,
Is
Orangeville.
it-
Gosh, why did I read Organville? Orangeville,
Yeah,
Canada.
him and Christian went to a little bitty school in Canada, and they went back there when they won the championships and stuff. And that was like a big thing when they went back to a little town. I used to watch all the behind the mat stuff and all that. Like I love that behind the scenes. This was my soap opera for many, many years.
You know what? Where's Christian from? That may have been what it was.
He lived in the same town. They went to school together. I promise you. That's why they billed them as brothers, because they grew up together. They were so close.
Anyway,
There's our wrestling squirrel for the evening, guys.
we're all wrestling fans. But
Greg was like this, and Nathan was like, nope. Then he was like,
Nope.
what is this? And he was like, nope.
nope.
Try again.
Sorry.
Well, let me ask
Sorry.
you this: Have you just here's another little squirrel. Have you guys seen the Big Show, or the Big Show?
Yes, my wife made me
Nope.
watch that.
My
Nope.
son loves it.
Really?
Big show.
That guy.
Yeah.
That guy is not a good actor.
I
Or
know.
it's not great. It's not
He wanted to
great
be
writing.
Wilson.
But
Yeah, great. Our Chris
Yeah, the minute he said he wanted to be Wilson Fisk, I was like, nope, sorry, that's Vincent D'Onofrio. That's our only Wilson Fisk right now.
well, while I agree, D'Onofrio is a way better choice there. I could see him physically
Greg,
portraying
no.
that role,
Greg,
and maybe if you
Greg,
didn't, huh?
Greg,
Huh?
no.
No.
No, Greg, no.
Okay.
So much wrong in that
Greg.
statement. So much wrong.
Man, if we're
Now
talking
Travis-
about,
now Travis is gonna be like,
if we're talking about wrestlers and movies, my wife was watching Warrior today when I got home from work, and damn, that movie's great. And it had Kurt Angle in there. You guys ever see Warrior from with Tom Hardy and Joel
Nathan,
whatever his name is?
Nathan? Yeah.
Excellent
Great movie. Great movie.
God, excellent, man. And I was watching that day, and I'm watching it again. I forgot all about it. I'm like, that's effing Kurt Angle. What the hell is he doing? I forgot he was in the
He's
movie.
still strutting around.
Tom, you're buried the lead. Tom Hardy's in the movie.
Oh, that's what I said. And Joel, what came? Joel
I can't
something.
remember the other
right?
guy. Can't remember the
Yeah.
other guy.
Joel something. There you go.
Joel
We'll
something.
figure it out.
Joel somebody.
Oh man. Okay, y'all got anything else you want to say about that Adam Smasher news? I don't know a whole lot about
Oh,
it.
that's where we started.
Just we saw the casting. Yeah, that was where that squirrel came from originally.
All right.
So
You were worried about filling time.
right. No, I wouldn't worry. I told you we can have an hour and a half worth of content. Doesn't mean any of it's going to mean worth anything. You know.
Well, I think Chris is right about it. I think he's going to jump back and forth in time. I think you'll see him face the JSA at one
Oh,
point
please give
or
me
other.
that. Please.
Yeah.
Can we get a Fate? Like that would be cool. Now Sarah's got I want Dr. Fate in there. Let him.
Naboo.
Oh man, let him just go in there and wreck shit.
Oh, Nathan, I would love that.
But
I
maybe
think
he's
we're gonna-
too well.
I think we'll- I
I'm
think
good
we'll
with
be
this
casting
movie.
this.
Shazam
I'm
and
totally-
Fate or Black Adam and Dr. Fate fighting. That's a fight I didn't even think of it. I'll watch that.
I am totally good with this movie just being a little mostly focused on Adam. Let's bring in the sequel with our Shazam fight, and then let's go really crazy in number 3. Let's bring in all magic. Let's finally, now we've got Justice League Dark by that point fully established. Let's start then bringing them into it.
Can in number 2,
There you
can we have Henry Cavill come in as a cameo and just smash his face in for?
Oh,
like,
number 2, it's a
for-
team up between him and Shazam.
Yeah,
Let's do
okay,
it.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But I want to see them turn against each other because I want to see The Rock and Henry Cavill face off against each other and just beat the hell out of each other on some guy. You thought General Zod and Superman created some destruction? These boys are gonna get it.
As much as I love Henry Cavill, I'm pretty sure The Rock would smash Henry Cavill in real life, even with how big Henry Cavill is. The Rock's ungodly big. Like, it's not
He's a
even funny.
monster.
This guy's been training for this Black Adam role for like the last 35 years.
He's been training for his whole life.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Yeah, 'cause he was like
Will
super
Smith.
tiny when he came out. I mean, he was like,
Yo, do you think
Don't
his suit's
mind
going to
me.
have any padding at all, or it's just going to be spandex? I mean, you know, do you
Dude,
even
that
need padding
man
in the
work
suit?
out in an eating regimen. You know.
This is going to be the first Black Adam we ever
Really?
see with just his little wrestling trunks, boots, and the little scarf on it.
Right.
That's all he's wearing. He's coming out just the underwear, the boots.
Have the Brahma bull on his
flying yellow
ass. There you
scarf.
Do you smell what Black Adam is cooking?
That's right.
Yeah.
Isn't Shazam 2 going to be about Mr. Mind, though?
Yeah,
Mr. Who?
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Mind.
it's supposed to be.
I don't know what that is.
But I'm just saying, I'm talking about Black Adam too.
Oh, the Caterpillar?
You know?
Okay. We're operating on having a sequel for Black Adam. too.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Black Adam kind of being his own character with his own
Yeah.
movie.
It's
Everyone
The
gets
Rock.
the
The Rock
trilogy.
makes money. The Rock makes money, and it's from New Line. This thing's not going to
Well,
be...
You can also do it in different times too, or different periods.
Yeah, let's jump through it. First act, one time period. Second act, a time period. Third act, a time period. Let's do it.
Like you
Bring
can
me
tell
on.
different stories with him where he's been alive so long.
He's like, yeah, let's do it.
Come on, do it. Let's get him. I just want to see.
I love it. Oh man. All right, cool. Well, you got anything else you want to say about that?
No.
Because like I said, we don't have a whole lot of news other than the casting. Moore's going to come soon, I'm pretty sure, because he's going to be at. Do you think he'll be at DC Fandom? The new guy, the guy
He
that
said he
cast-
is.
Huh?
Well, Dwayne
Rock
said he
is.
is. I
Dwayne
don't
said
know.
he is. Yeah,
Oh, this new guy.
the new guy.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Not-
Sure, we'll go with yes. Why not?
I don't see
I
why.
mean,
he
it's
wouldn't.
it only takes. Hey, can you
Here, you
call
got a
in
camera?
for 45
You got a
seconds?
mic?
Yeah, exactly. Can you call him for 45 seconds to say hi to the fans since this was leaked before we wanted it because we were probably going to announce it anyway, or you know what I mean? So hey, come on, call in.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I didn't think about that. It's not really being at Fandom. It's just kind of having somebody be able to record you say something or do something. So it's actually
Right.
more possible than you'd think. But
I think if all the JSA is in at Black Adam, we'll get all that casting news at DC Fandom. I think.
That'd be a cast.
Oh, yeah, we want to blow the internet up. Let's do that.
Let's say
You
we're
know
doing
what I mean?
JSA, man. That'll about darn time.
We're bringing the Rock. They're bringing the Rock, and his time is not just
What if-
easily like. They're definitely something with this for sure.
What if it's like the Black Adam, slash JSA or some shit? You know what I mean? Like the title. Like they're gonna. We know it's gonna Black Adam movie. We haven't had an official title. Like get the title and then the casting announcement. Like and know that like to prove like hey we're further deeper into production than this than what you guys thought or the wheels are moving a little quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you know, though, I would like that to be a complete surprise. You know, like if they were going to do something like that, just promote the Black Adam movie. Don't even tell me.
Well,
JSA
go
is
live
gonna
in
be
your
there.
cave.
Huh?
You know what? Because I want to know things. You go live in your cave because I like to know things.
Dude, I want to walk out of that theater or my own home where I bought it digitally on screen because you had to. 'cause
Mind
you can't go to
blown.
theaters anymore. I want to walk out of there with my mind blown. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it'd be fun. I mean, of course. Then again, I'll look it up. I always do that.
Yeah.
The movies where I don't look stuff up because I'm like, no, I don't want to spoil it. I end up walking out of the movie theater like, so I'm just gonna spoil
I can't
it.
wait to hear him say the word Shazam. Can't wait to hear him say it.
Expectations.
Never know. All right, cool. Well, let's go to the next one then. Let's talk some just a real small story. Winter Soldier and Falcon delayed. Not surprising. I think just about everything in production right now is being delayed, except for Mandalorian season 2.
It was already
Because
done.
they had filming done.
They had it
Well, was
completely done. I'll say the
post-production.
filming
Yeah,
done. They just
they're-
weren't done with everything else. Okay.
All post production's been
post-production.
done
Okay.
behind the scenes, so they're ready. That's gonna stick.
Okay.
Well, that's what with the industry the way it is now. Post production and animation is like where it's at because that's like there's a lot of people that like voice directors that like to have animators in the same room or whatever. But if movies were already filmed, post production's rolling because that's the only basically keeping things in business. And animation is, I think we're going to see an up if this continues on as it is in the real world, I think that we're going to see an uptick in animation because people are going to go, well, look at Into the Spider-Verse, look at what Pixar does, look what Disney does. They smash this money, and the other studios are going to be like, well, like let's do the DreamWorks. You know, they've made a bunch of great. I think we're going to see a little uptick here soon because people can actually work and be put to work doing that, and you don't have to be in the same room.
Nathan,
any of you to make a good product.
Not only movies but shows as well. Like for Harley Quinn, the animated show, Kaylee Cuoco never voiced anything with Poison Ivy.
They usually don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I know it's a strange, like Andrea Romano when she was casting, she'd get the people in there together, and I know.
yeah.
But you know, what I mean, it's a rare occasion.
Travis,
for
were you
the
making a
for-
money symbol when he said that, or were you milking a baby cow?
Money.
I wasn't sure.
Money.
You can milk anything with nipples, Greg.
Oh no, you stop it.
Say, I have nipples, Chris. Can you milk me?
There's
Later.
All right, so we all kind of covered
We-
that. Yeah, there's not a lot of news that.
If we had patrons, we would say that'd be a Patreon exclusive, right?
we can talk about the Bad Batch being announced.
Super Civil Servants After Hours. The Bad Batch, some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, the Star Wars animated spinoff, which I think this has been in production for a while, and I do believe that Clone Wars Season 7, that was a backdoor pilot. But I think
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, like they think they're going full steam ahead and chugging into this too, because that's one thing that they can keep into production. So,
Well, let me ask you this, Nathan, because I was listening to our good friend Travis Snell on Geekverse. What is they kind of proposed something, and they were kind of frustrated in the sense of, here we go again, the dark times all over again. When is Disney going to do something new? In the sense of get beyond the dark times, get beyond that. And they were saying, yeah, we know we have the High Republic in books, but we're talking about on-screen. You know, Mandalorian's our first kind of step outside of that. But when are they going to really go full tilt?
see, that's a great question, because like it's been a real interesting history with Disney and Star Wars, Lucasfilm in general, and I don't mean just like the since 2017 the real fan to decide, Vite. But like immediately when Disney purchased Lucasfilm, the first mother ever thing they did was walk in the door and they said, "Shut the Clone Wars down, done."
Yep.
And the main reasons behind this were because at the time the prequels are a lot more divisive or whatever, but people loving the Clone Wars to help fill in the gaps. It's making the prequels better, but they had basically what has been referred to as prequel-itis. So that's why they shut it down. And then they did Rebels, which Rebels is great. It's got some real heart to it, but it's not Clone Wars. You know what I mean? It's not the grand.
It's completely different.
Right, and at the time, it's still Clone Wars is still groundbreaking, and I think one of the most expensive animated series ever put out there. Because when you get into those later seasons, the latter half of 4, 5, and 6, like
look at 7.
And 7, yeah, look at how beautiful that is. But that's, like I said, then they did Rebels or whatever, and then people were like, the Force Awakens comes out, smash hit. They the highest grossing movie at the time. People have Star Wars is back. Let's do this. So like I said, they get all this, and then their heads are full or whatever. And they're thinking, boom, this is where we need to be. We're pushing to the future. Last Jedi comes out, fan divide, Solo hits. You know what I mean? They get a couple 1-2 punches, and I know the Last Jedi made a lot of money. You get to the end of Rebels because they're starting to move off things, and then when things are really bad, like they go back to the Clone, because there's this outcry of people that I grew up with the prequels and stuff, and I love it, and the Clone Wars only enhances that. And they're finally kind of starting, like I said, it's all tumultuous, but I think this is going to kind of help. Like I'm saying all this to lead to, because like I said, we met the Bad Batch in the Clone Wars, and this, from what they say, this is supposed to take up immediately afterward. So we saw our guys, immediately after Order 66. So you're going to have 6 guys. This is basically, I think this is going to be like the A-Team in Star Wars, which is a concept that comes straight from George Lucas that he wanted to explore. He wanted to have enhanced clones, like individual, and like what would they do. So this time, I think this is kind of like a give people what they want, or not what they want, but keep these fans in there. You know what I'm saying? Give them this where it's still right after. We can bridge it into the very beginnings. Like we can see how they're making. You know what I mean? How the Emperor does more, so we get more emphasis on how that immediate takeover went. Because you know what I mean.
But we kind of got that in Rebels, though.
That's true. I think
I'm just playing devil's advocate because
Sure.
it was an interesting discussion that they had in that sense. You know, even Fallen Order too is in the dark times again.
right.
So
Mhm.
so it just
Well,
seems like they keep on just getting obsessed with
they're-
what we
they're-
know.
Well, they know, and a lot of it is too is they know that the original trilogy is that is the bread and butter. That is the one thing we can all come together on, and we know that story all of us by heart from just
Mhm.
growing up. You know what I mean? And even introduce, because you know what I'm saying. We know that original trilogy, that Luke, Leia, Han, the original guys, Vader. That is the sweet spot in it. And right now, whether we want to admit it or not, the sequel trilogy is so goddamn divisive. So much so that The Rise of Skywalker came out, and the rumors that are coming out about some of the stuff that was force changes and stuff in there, if we get real evidence on that, like that's going to be some shit. But like, there's a reason why there's no toys, no merchandise, no shirts, no very limited. This is Star Wars. We're wrapping up the Skywalker saga. You know what I'm saying? Like this. What are you doing? And everything was so divided. And then it comes out, and people are like, "What? What the hell? That's how we ended it." You know what I mean? So right now, I think they're giving the sequel era a little bit time to let's let it breathe. I'm not saying it's going to go for. They probably have stuff in development, but I think it's early stages. Let's let that breathe a little bit. Fill in stuff that I don't want to say we know is easy money because nothing's easy money. You know what I mean? But like these characters were like, let's go right here to where
It's like filler story. It's like it's
Yeah,
just kind of like filling
let's
it in.
enhance.
You know, it's like
Yeah,
kind of
let's
going a little bit
enhance.
further than what. Yeah.
And like so, I think that's why they're going with that for now. Who knows? This could be a limited series. It could maybe be 3. You know, see,
Yeah.
it just depends on. Like I said, I think it's going A-team style, but I think that personally, I think it's a mistake not to go right after Return of the Jedi, where Luke's building his order and get. You know what I mean? I think that's the era I want to be in, or like let's get it where he's training a young Ben Solo. Ideally, like let's have Luke taking his Padawan as his nephew before the turn or whatever to help fill that story in. But I think they're letting all that breathe right now, and they're just kind of doing what is good until Taika Waititi comes in, because I think that's where they're going to go.
Him and
the era he
Feige are
wants
going to be
to
the
go in.
test.
That's
What they're going to let them to do.
I think exactly. Where do they want to go? What's the story they want to tell? And like, let's just say Taika goes, we're going 100 years in the future, past that or whatever. They're going to pick up if it's, you know what I'm saying? I think if it's a hit, they're going to pick up right there, and they're going to let that era breathe. And if we get to that far, by the time you go back, there's going to be a lot of people going, all right, you know, I'm ready to have the story filled in. I'm ready to have those pieces. But right now, I hate to say it, but it's very divisive. There's people that you shit on either 8 or 9 or both of them, or the sequel trilogy as a whole, or you love all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's the same discussion Sarah and I had a while ago with just saying with Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
here we go again. Where I'm excited about
But the Kelvin timeline. I mean, you either like it or you don't, or either you can you can take it for what it is, or you can sit there and say, "Well, this is not." No, it's not the original series. It is not. It is a break. It's a different timeline, but it's still the same characters.
People
it's
crap
all
on the
on everybody's. Go ahead.
No, finish up because I was just.
No, I
gonna
was just saying
add
it's
here.
just like it's everybody's opinion. I mean, everybody has opinion of what for their franchise which they want to go. I mean, I'm just excited. There's more content.
Yeah,
New stories.
I'm actually, I'm not really set in. Okay, well, yes, there's 2 versions of Kirk. There's 2 versions of Spock. Okay, I'm fine with that. At least it's there.
Yeah, we didn't. There was a long time we didn't have any. I mean, people seem to forget with the Kelvin timeline that brought new people into Star Trek.
Right
They don't. I'm just saying you
Right
can't
here.
argue with the results of what it did. We may not sadly get any more out of it for one reason or another, but it
That's
got
what
people
they'll go back
into
to
it.
eventually.
But Chris, the cool thing about the first movie was there was callbacks to
and
the
Picard.
original movie.
Leonard Nimoy was in it.
Well, it wasn't just that. There was like one particular scene where it was a flip, but it was from the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah,
And I remember seeing that, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
well, they even
That
referred.
is so awesome.
They referred directly to it in Picard. They referred
absolutely.
directly to the whole Kelvin timeline split.
Yeah.
They don't call it, but they refer directly to what had happened because it leads
that's
to
Because
what
it was in
all
the Romulan, because it dealt with the Romulans, and that's
Yeah.
basically what had
and that's
happened.
what happened.
Mhm.
So that whole
that's
first
fucking
episode
cool.
leaks. So
Oh yeah.
So the showrunner did a good job tying in both all that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
That's what's so cool about
That's
Star
nice.
Trek, because you have an
That's nice.
open mind to take in all these stories, and you have all these awesome characters. And like I said, when you give the opening of a timeline split, that just creates a whole new world, even when you have the same characters. And it's
And it's the
Right.
same, like I said, it's the same problem that Star Wars is having right
Mhm.
now. Star Trek only has one show that's gone outside of what they've already covered, which was Picard. You know, Star Wars has a little bit more with 3 movies and The Mandalorian, but they're also still stuck in the past too. Because yeah, it works, and yes, give me more, I'll take it. You've got my money already. I'm
Well,
going to watch it and celebrate it. But
I think the Mandalorian's gonna. I think season 2 of the Mandalorian is gonna set up some. I think we're gonna go in some different places with that, honestly, because
oh, I agree.
like you said, that's our first like little tiptoe in there. And with Favreau and Filoni's success on picking directors and writing the story and just kind of guiding this ship, you know what I mean? I think even if Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't want to do it, I think Bob Iger steps in and goes, no. We're letting these boys, we're gonna let them do this.
we'll let them do their thing.
I got an idea for you. How about this? Kathleen Kennedy's contract is getting ready to run out in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Disney renewing it.
Mm-hmm.
I do see. Here's an idea. How about Favreau taking over?
Ooh. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing. It wouldn't be a bad
How about that? I
Did
mean,
the heavens just open up?
Here's my only thing.
Nathan has a new little prayer to pray now.
Yeah.
Let's get as long as Filoni can be his backup, because we cannot.
yeah, that's why I didn't say
discount
Filoni.
his input.
Filoni does not want that. Filoni wants to play with the toys.
No. Like, let him be his like vice president or like
Yeah, put
whatever.
Filoni in.
Let him be like.
Well, Filoni's gonna have some
Kathleen
creative
Kennedy's gonna-
direction in it.
Yeah,
got
like let him be the brain. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like hey, run this through him, because is this Star Warsy? Is this Lucas Star Wars? Because Filoni would be like, well, hey, what are you doing? That's not right in this universe.
Here's my thing, and this is the reason why I think they haven't strayed away from the main storyline, the Dark Ages, Dark Times, recently, because every time they even not stray away from that story, but they do something slightly different than what the fans would expect from this time. What happens? They get all these people getting mad about what's happening, and they say, "Oh, well, that's not my Star Wars. That's not my Luke. That's not my Leia. That's not my Han Solo."
Everyone. That's
true.
Can't avoid that.
I understand that,
not my
but
Superman, not my
they take
Batman,
a
not
lot
my-
of flack for it,
Right.
a whole lot of
Also-
flack. So imagine if they just completely cut
Not
it
my
out and went a
Kirk,
different
not my
direction, and it wasn't successful. What would happen?
True.
Well, that's not my Star Wars. Because I know, me personally, my stepdad, he grew up watching he got me into Star Wars. When the new ones came out, even not the prequels were okay, but when the newer ones came out, 7, 8, and 9 came out, like he was like, I'm not going to go see that. That's not my Star Wars. Now, I made him watch Force Awakens, because I rented it one night and I took it over to his house and we sat down and watched it. And after he got in, he was like, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I said, yeah, so you just got to give it a chance. But I know some people will just look at it and be like, no, that's not my Star Wars. I'm not listening to that, or watching
Like
that.
it's in Disney, like I also forgot to mention, whenever the first thing they did when they got the keys to Lucasfilm was kick down the door and say shut Clone Wars down, they also went, oh yeah, all those books you spent years reading and building up the EU, F all those, because them don't count anymore, and we're going to do our own thing. Disney walked in and like they just took their big Disney dong and slapped a lot of people with it and pissed them off, because they was like, oh, it's ours now, we're going to do what I want.
Note that one.
Because, you know what I mean? Like you said, they just they canceled all of it.
Well, and also think about the next generation, not of Star Wars fans. I mean, you have like a younger generation that's coming up. So I mean, you have the diehard ones that like our generation. But think about the younger ones.
Well, I think they also learned from Resistance too, because I heard a good point the other day on a show of like somebody was like, Clone Wars animation was great going there. Rebels had some good animation in there. Like it had some bad too, but it had great heart. Like Rebels is the heart is what makes that show. And then you get into Resistance, and it was almost like Disney came in and was like, we've been doing animation for 77 million years. Like we'll show you how to do animation, Star Wars. And they went in there and they were like, we're gonna do our Disney Star Wars system. We're gonna have this zany cast of kids, you know what I mean? And like they're gonna be so kooky. And then they got in there and they were like, and I know people were like, well, they got 2 seasons. Well, I mean, come on. I think they thought they had it in there, and they were already deep into production in season 2, and they were like, all right. And then with the sequel trilogy being changed up with 9, because those actually did kind of flow into it. Anyway, all this to say, my point is, like, the failure of that, not failure, because if you like it, you like it, and it was meant for kids, but
I'm a big kid.
But like
Yeah.
But the failure of that, and so I think like the Bad Batch, you know what I mean, is like hey, we can still go in here and do this. Now maybe we're not going to see a war like where everything's being picked off, but we can still go in here and tell some mature stories. And like you got the A-Team out there, you know what I mean, and they're going to go around and just and just help these planets that need it or whatever.
What if they remade the actual A-Team, but in Star Wars, and called it the Bad Batch? Like,
That's what they're doing. I agree with Nathan. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, you saw their personalities in the show. It's
Yeah.
almost reeks of it.
oh man, yeah. I mean, it's Star Wars though. It's gonna, like I said, they're probably gonna get my money at least once to see whatever they put out there. You know, because
Sure.
I'm interested to see what's going on. But
You
I don't
already
know.
got Disney Plus; they got your money.
That's right. Well, no, I got that for free for a year with my phone
Hey.
subscription, so they'll have my money
That
next
That
year.
year's getting kind of short
That's
now,
right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
They'll have my money next year.
We're gonna need some extensions, okay?
It's getting kind of low, big guy.
Oh,
Just had to say it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saving on after school and
All right.
daycare, so
go.
I can afford it now.
Remote learning, right?
Oh, yes.
I just found out that news today. But all right, let's go to the next story. We only got two more real quick things to talk about, and three, and then we'll get into the reviews.
Can I ask? I must ask Nathan one question.
No, you're not allowed to talk. You came on late. Let's go.
oh damn it!
Look in the corner and think about what you did, young man.
The Arrow and Travis appear, so.
Nathan, why isn't there a animated show like in the style of Clone Wars, filling in the gap from Return of the Jedi to The
what I
Force
want.
Awakens?
That's what I want
Yeah, that was
so
what
bad.
that was what he said. He said he wanted
That's
the
what- I want that so
time when
bad.
Luke was
Mark
training
Hamill.
his.
Mark Hamill
Yeah,
is the
he said this is
world-renowned
one-off
voice
story type.
Yeah, like
But,
he's a world-renowned voice actor. He was the goddamn Joker. He's been the voices in a million things. He's the Hobgoblin and the Spider-Man. Like, this is Mark
You think he would
Hamill.
voice? You think he'd voice some Luke?
Let him
I mean, do you
voice
think-
Luke Skywalker and let
I
him.
mean, you think he'd come back
put him
and
in
do
the
it?
same room with the people that ticked
Yes.
him off in the sequel trilogy, and yeah, he'll be
Well,
fine.
yeah. Like let him in there. Like let him help. Let him help. Even let him help make this story better for even him, because we all know how he felt with he very publicly with the Last Jedi. He's like, I feel like I'm playing Jake Skywalker, and it's not the same character. You know what I mean? Like he very publicly.
He sounds very familiar. He sounded kind of like other characters, man.
But you know what I mean? Like, so like let him help even make sense to him. Like let him go on the journey. We saw the fall of Anakin. You know what I mean? Like we saw the fall of Anakin. Let's see this fall of Luke. Let's make it better for me. Let me go into Last Jedi and being like, oh shit, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like hell, like fill in the gap. Let's see that fall of like we're let's lead up to the almost killing his nephew if that's what happened. Let's
I
see what
agree.
made
That's
him.
that's one hole that I want to see filled because
Like let's
that's,
I'm
see.
writing
Let's
that
get the
down.
Flash.
like where are
and
the Knights of
Darkness.
Ren? I mean, because
yeah.
you see them. So where does that come in? That just I don't know.
Who?
Right.
Great.
Travis heard me. I'm writing that
Yeah, I
down.
heard
Sarah
it.
says that's one
I
hole
heard
I want to see filled at this point in time.
Get in line, fellas. Get in line.
Writing that down. Hey, you know what I want to see? I
All
want to
right,
see.
there's that after show, everyone. Good night, everyone. Have a night. Good night.
I gotta go real quick, y'all. I want to see
We'll be
a
launching our
story of
fans only very soon.
what's Anakin's mom's name? Shmi.
It's me, yeah.
I want to see a story of her lineage and how her father falls and they fall into slavery. There you go. There's the next Star Wars. The prequel.
What if they were the true assholes, like for real, just like dropped her off for drinking money?
What if
like,
you
what
find
if it was
out-
like, holy shit,
What-
everybody
what if-
in this universe does that?
What if you found out they were somehow related to Sidious? What's his name? You know. Well, what if he's behind the whole thing? You know.
What if they were the descendants of Jabba?
I like where this is going. We can do all kinds of crazy shit with Star Wars, y'all. All
Right.
right.
We get right crazy with Trek. Never
Yeah.
mind.
All right, so
Never
let's
mind.
get off some Star Wars. Talk to me about some.
Yeah.
Nathan, you listened to the Sandman book. You've been listening to the Sandman book?
Okay, man, I'm not gonna get
Audiobook?
into this because I don't want to spoil it for people. But let me just say, this is. I think I'm 98% sure this is my first go around like anything Neil Gaiman, and holy shit, this is a fantastic audio drama, and he narrates it. And let me just say, like, his voice is so soothing in that accent that if he would just narrate my life or just read me bedtime stories, like, I'd sleep like a fucking
Narrate
baby,
your life.
man.
I love it.
It's
No,
really-
you sleep like a
it's-
teenager. You wouldn't sleep like a baby.
right. Well, like it's just really good. Like it's good. Chris was saying that it's like what volumes 1 through 3 unabridged, right?
Yeah, it's close to being unabridged. I mean, Nick Gaiman said he said before the audio compared to the actual Netflix show, this is more unabridged than the show will be.
Okay, yeah, it's about. I just want to say, like I said, I got 3 hours left of it, and it's fantastic. And like it just when I got to make sure that like I got the right time in the morning to be able to listen to it because I don't want to get interrupted while I'm working. Listen, like it's good. Like
that's why I haven't listened to it yet. I still haven't found that time.
I'm invested.
That was what I was going to ask. Is Nathan, where do you find this time, dude? Because you're always telling me I need to listen to audiobooks. You listen to every podcast that's ever made out there. You listen to audiobooks. You find time to read entire story arcs and 2 years worth of comic books from one storyline, and be on the show and watch stuff. Where is your time coming from, dude? Like, tell me how it works.
Greg, I asked the same question to you with your podcasting time.
Yeah,
I used to
I
have
ask you that
time,
at least
but
on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
I drive a truck. And instead of listening to music that I've heard over, which I love music, don't get me wrong, but like, and I work very early, so I usually try to have a couple laughs or listen to something that interests me to keep me awake.
We know how early you work. We see our DM stream when we actually wake up at a normal time. And you say, "Oh God, geez, Nathan, he's gone off."
I'm getting some stuff.
Chris, I was working in a different province with a little earlier time zone, and I'd be up same time. Me and Nathan would be chatting like 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are sometimes I'm up when Nathan starts chatting. I just look at it and say, "No, it's too early for me to respond," because then he's going to start talking to me at this point, and I can't devote that.
What?
I can't talk to you before coffee. No.
Silence that shit.
I'll get to work and I'm already like 6 pages behind on the group chat because y'all already going. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I get to work at 8:15. It's like, what the hell?
I've been like that lately too because there's been a lot. Yeah, I've been missing a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, you were talking about reading that, and then there's Sandman on Netflix.
Yeah. Chris, do you know more details on that? Because you were the one that told me that he's coming.
Yeah, he is coming. I mean,
it's
they've been trying to, phrasing. This property has been passed around so many different times to try to bring it to the big screen. I mean, I think the quote unquote closest it's made it is, Gordon Levitt has been a huge fan, has tried to do this, and Gaiman's gone on record in saying that the problem with them bringing this property anywhere was that they tried to take it almost true from the source material, not like necessarily page to screen, but they never. It just doesn't work the way he wrote it when he wrote it. I mean, back as far ago as he did. I mean, this is over a 30-year-old property. He started writing this 30 years ago. And so that's why it's failed. Nobody seemed to crack that idea, and so I applauded it when it got to Netflix. And in 2019, that's 30 years ago. Almost to the day when it was announced that the first issue, is from his first issue, and so it's coming to Netflix. I don't know where in the process it is. At that point, it will be 11 episodes. Gaiman's work is doing the first episode. He is writing it. The showrunners are Alan Heinberg and David Goyer. It would cover the first 8 issues of the series, titled Preludes and Nocturnes. But again, it will be bringing Sandman into our own modern day.
That's what I was going to say. Take the Sandman concept and bring it yes, that's
because again, you actually read it, and Nathan's listened to it. But when you read it, it's just like, yeah, this is going to be tough to bring at that point to really audiences to kind of wrap their heads around, because it is. Gaiman is very heady.
I was getting ready to say there's like a chapter, like chapter 2 or 3 in this, like it gets you like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, and like right out of the gate, you're getting into some shit, and you're like, oh, but you're with it, just because I don't know. But I bring him in with the new and do a story of your own, but take all of the concepts and
he is completely fine with that. He just loves the idea that this is fine. Yeah, it's finally coming to any kind of screen. But he's going to be less involved than he is with Good Omens. He's the showrunner for Good Omens, but he's much more involved than he was with American Gods, where he's executive producer. So, he's basically right in the He's basically right in the middle. Like he's the most involved in Good Omens. He's the least involved in American Gods. So he's found a balance.
Gotcha. Okay.
His history is very interesting, and it'll eventually come back to the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network. It's an older episode, so when that episode does come back,
be sure to tune in.
Be sure to tune in to Seasons of Mist, which is by far probably one of the best Sandman storylines of the entire run. That is issues number 21 through 28.
So the first volume it'll be.
Yes, we do. The reason that's also very a good one is this is where the Lucifer gives up hell. Mm-hmm. Lucifer walks away from hell and gives the keys to Dream and says, "You're in charge. Bye. Good luck to you."
Okay,
and that stems from what happened in the first arcs of Sandman.
I know, Chris, once you get the chance to listen to that and I finish it, we'll have to have Legendary Bearded Geek on there because he saw me talking about it and stuff, and he went ahead and got the audiobook too, and he said he's really, really liking it.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yep. So
You've been trying to get me into audiobooks for a while, but podcasts are free, so
They're
that's
good,
why
man.
I
I get it.
podcast,
I
so-
get it, man. I get it.
Greg,
I
do you
do the
have Amazon
subscription
Prime?
Audible.
I do have Amazon
Yeah, man.
Prime.
Okay, guess what? You can get 2 audiobooks for free just for doing the free month trial, and Sandman's one of them. So that is what
And
I'm
you can
doing.
cancel it after
And you
that,
can
yeah.
cancel it right after that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe I set a reminder on my phone to cancel right after that, because otherwise I'll just be paying for it for the next 6 years and not even realize it. So,
That's how I went through it. But I go ahead and get it. I got like 36 audiobooks and shit. That's how I powered through all of Game of Thrones.
You have
man.
time to do that.
Is it like
I know?
Is it like PlayStation Plus though? Like if I cancel my my
Oh,
Amazon audiobook membership, do I lose all those audiobooks?
Nope, I think you get to
they're
keep
yours.
it either way.
They're yours.
They're
No
yours.
matter what, those are your books.
Okay, gotcha.
Because they're hoping that you pick ones like they're hoping, especially because of the production. James McAvoy playing Morpheus, like fucking excellent, and like the cast in this is great. Old Joel Edgerton, Constantine, like and this thing is good, man. It's good, and it's got a great production. Like I said, Neil Gaiman can just narrate my life because he's the narrator. But I'm just telling you, they're hoping that when you hear that, you go, "Oh shit, is there more stuff like this?" And if you get another book, they're hoping you get 2 books where you go, "I really enjoy this," because there's a lot of people that do good productions, you know what I mean? And they're hoping you go, "All right, I'll do it one more time." Oh, what? It's only $15 for a book instead of $25 or $30. You know what I mean? That's just what they're hoping.
See, that's my other issue. Is I buy books at Goodwill for like $1 or $2. I never buy books brand new
You don't
unless
buy
they're
books
comics.
I just
words.
can't bring myself to listen to somebody read me a book. I guess I
get
just
it.
enjoy your. I don't know. Just call me old fashioned. I guess.
I'm a child. I get it. I know. I'm a child.
Hey, I'm gonna give it a shot, definitely. I mean, like I said, you've been trying, Nathan. I think since I've known you, you've been trying to get me onto audiobooks. I just haven't had time, but I do need
I'm
to.
not a pusher. I'm not a pusher. Okay.
Oh, whatever.
You make
whatever.
your own
I wouldn't
choices.
watch animated shows right now if it wasn't for you and Travis. Like hounding me every day. Greg, watch this. Setting me on a schedule. And
Well, I
was
wouldn't have
like,
watched
okay,
The
let's do it.
Boys if it weren't for y'all. So
Hey,
whatever.
hey.
Your life
I
is
get it from
richer
them.
because
That's right.
your life
That's
is
right.
richer because of us.
It's
Greg,
not
okay?
always a bad thing. That's
Travis,
exactly
high
right.
five.
It's not always a bad thing. Okay, well, one last thing I want to talk about. It's not even really news, just something we saw. Have y'all seen these Boss Logic pictures of Ben Affleck as Batman on HBO Max? No news of it
Amazing.
yet. Just amazing, beautiful art.
He's just pushing for it lately.
Yes.
It seems like.
Yes.
He's
Deathstroke
like
wins
Cameron.
though. The Deathstroke one
Oh.
wins.
Yeah, the
That
Deathstroke one
was
definitely wins of
beautiful.
those two, but they're still both awesome pictures, man. Like I would almost want that picture of the bat symbol in the sky with the HBO Max and Ben Affleck as a poster to hang up on my wall. It looks so cool.
I take that Deathstroke one.
Yeah, I would. too.
Same, Nathan, same.
But
Mhm.
just awesome looking stuff, man. Boss Logic does some great artwork. It's,
He is
um,
fucking fantastic. There is no denying. He is a great artist.
Mhm.
And he comes up with shit quick.
and he loves some Snyder.
He loves stuff. He loves a lot of stuff.
Loves good stuff. So that
He
way.
does.
But I just want to bring that out there, talk about that for a second. It was pretty cool. I'm really, really excited for that. All right, well, let's do, Nathan, let's real quick, me and you push from Umbrella Academy, or do you want to wait till next week? Because we have one more
Let's
week
just
before.
wait on it. We got more. Yeah.
I say we have
let's
one
just
more
wait.
week before the second season actually drops. So
Yeah.
that'll give me some more time to watch a little more of it and give Sarah
me
time to
catch
finish
up.
it. There you go.
Sure. Yeah.
Let me
Time to
catch
finish it.
up.
So we have 3.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll push it out of there.
Well, let's go ahead and start talking about some show reviews, y'all. Y'all want to start with
Oh,
Doom
man.
Patrol or start with Stargirl?
Wherever you want to go, Captain.
Let's do Stargirl first. Save Doom Patrol for last. Then so
Oh,
this is what we've been doing.
all
Might as well
right,
keep
yeah.
it keep it
Yes.
the same. You know,
Okay.
might as well
Alright.
keep it the same. So Sarah, you look excited. Talk to me about some Stargirl.
Yeah, come on with it.
Oh man, I tell you, I swear every episode just keeps getting better and better and better. It's just it's like an onion. You just keep peeling back the layers. You just keep peeling back the layers, and it's just. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'll let one of you other fellas start off on it because it's just wow. Because I watch it on my lunch break, so I'm sitting in our little break area, and I'm like, this one was kind of funny. So I was like, I would snicker or that kind of thing, and just I'm like, is anybody watching me? So yeah, it's just I just. Like I said, it's like an onion. You just keep peeling back layer after layer after layer. And like I said earlier with the show question, it makes me want to know more about the JSA. And what makes me know more about, what's, the ISA. And you're starting to see, especially everybody's role and how everything's going. It's like the master plan is starting to unveil itself. I thought it was really interesting with Henry and Brainwave. I mean, because really you saw it coming. I mean, you saw it coming 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
But then, they just basically throw it out there that, oh, okay, well, we don't really care about Brainwave now. So we have Henry, so he can basically power our
We've got
plan.
what we need. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then, and the mom and me was like, oh, I do not want to be in Barbara's shoes because you got some explaining to do. So I'm curious to see how that's going to unfold because, especially bring in Icicle or Jordan to, Barbara invited him to family dinner and that kind of thing. So
What the
you're
hell?
starting to see like a friendship evolving there. And I mean, I'm not feel like it's fairly platonic. I mean, I don't think it's going to be too nefarious or anything like
Oh,
that.
he
But
so wants to put
I
his
was going to
sickle
say,
in
I
it.
think she
But
has
it's
some
gonna
explaining
play-
to do too. That's right. So
yeah, but I think it's going to start playing when, especially Courtney, she's like, oh my God, that's Icicle. Oh my God. And especially her son's digging her. So I'm like, okay, well, we're just crossing all
Raising
kinds of
kids,
lines
raising
right
people.
here.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how, like I said, because you have the questions of, okay, who's the ISA?
Oh, we don't
How
have the
would-
question yet.
But I mean, yes, you do. Be quiet. So I mean, you're starting to see how it's playing and how you just kind of see how things are starting to play out
Right.
and how relationships are starting to evolve, relationships are starting to de-evolve, and it's just getting
exciting.
It
Oh,
get good.
How many episodes is the series? The season?
We say this every week. I think me and
13,
Travis.
13,
Yeah, me and
13.
Travis look this up every week, and I keep forget every week. but-
13?
13.
Yeah, and this is number 8 right here, I think.
No,
That's why we
number
need
9.
Travis.
Number
Okay.
9.
So, the Brainwave. This episode. It was a really cool episode. I like how you get a background story of Brainwave. You get to figure out how he became to be, his origin. You get to see the 7 Soldiers of Victory. It gives you the little Green Arrow, callback. Gives you the Speedy callback. You get to see a whole bunch of really cool Golden Age characters. Brings back Shining Knight. for
Travis
this
says,
scene.
hashtag not my green arrow.
Hey, but hey, that was a pretty darn comic accurate look at what Green Lantern was way back when.
Yeah.
So
I love the picture.
I'll take any green arrow I can get, Nate.
All right.
Beggars can't be choosers.
That's right. That's right. I love you're starting like Sarah says, you're starting to see more of the plan for New America, starting to figure out what's really going on here. I don't think this season is going to give you any kind of closure. I'm still on that boat. I think that by the end of the season, it's going to be kind of like the end of Titan season 1, where you're like, well, what the hell happens next? Like, why did it leave us there?
building up the
So-
I think it's going to be like to that where something's going to it's almost going to happen, and
And there's
then
going to be a plan B.
yeah.
And we're
So-
building up to Grundy. Like, there's a reason why they keep showing him
I
shaking
agree.
the cage and stuff. Like, we're building up to where Grundy smashes Stripes or something, and Stargirl has to go in there and karate wand kick the shit out of him.
Roddy Wong
Well,
kicked
okay.
us.
How many people basically just eyes bugged when it was like, Junior? Oh God.
Talking
he's
about
awake.
the end, the reveal at the end,
Yes.
where Brainwave actually wakes up. Yeah, it's
Yes.
pretty amazing. I didn't
Because
see
you're
that
thinking
coming. I thought
probably the
she was gonna
icicle's
die.
going to take him out at some point because you don't really need him anymore now that Henry has developing his power.
And but if they team up, you know how much powerful they'll be to make. Maybe they come in there and they change the power game. If they walks in there with the son and they can both just, you know what I mean?
Well, what about Courtney wanting to bring Henry over to her side?
Like, come on, Courtney. Not everybody has to be in this team. Like, get your.
But
Get
see,
your
that's
shit
still her
together. Let's
naivety.
go.
That's and
I-
I got Yolanda. She's like, come
It ain't
come near
happening.
us. I will kill
Yeah.
you. She's
I
like,
wouldn't.
no, no.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having the guy who could read minds at my team.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Not
Courtney was
gonna lie.
thinking. Yeah.
And,
But he's
we all
he's a
know that
cockeyed.
We all know that Sydney was the one that
This is true.
leaked that picture for
See,
sure.
I just don't think so.
Oh, shizzle.
I just don't
He
think
went.
so.
He went to try to talk to her, and she
Yeah.
immediately left. That's definitely what happened for sure.
I agree with you on that
But
one.
then
agree
why
with
did
that.
why did he say you would kill me over what I did?
Because he was still surprised that that's how angry she was. Like he didn't
Yeah.
do that. And Greg, Dr. Ito sends a letter to Brainwave's father saying that Sydney will watch over her son.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And like be really close. She's really good at what she does.
Cindy.
She's a winch.
You're
She's a
Cindy
straight
herself.
up winch. The best thing I heard was when her friend said, "Why are you being such a bitch?"
Mhm.
I think
She
this-
might as well
this,
just been called Karen.
pretty much.
No.
And even
10-year-old's
Dr.
just
Ito
learned
was
about
like-
Karen's, yeah.
I'm not listening.
Mhm.
This season's
Close it,
good
just
of
close it.
like, do you follow in your parents' footsteps or not?
Yeah.
Like, do you
Yeah.
make your own path? There's gonna be so many of those decisions
I
coming
think
down.
Well-
I think Henry's going to shape up to be. He's going to be a vital
You-
character. There's
Well,
going
we
to be a
gotta be
turning
rounding the
point.
corner to find out if Star Man is her father. Like,
Well, that's what I was about to
Yeah,
say.
we
Do
gotta-
you think we're gonna get that reveal this season?
Next episode.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think,
I think
I
we get it
think
next
so.
episode.
I think so.
Well,
Barbara just
okay, I will
Barbara just
say
found
this.
out.
How about this with Barbara? Since she saw the staff and she was just like, you know, it could be like a
That is
WTF
really great.
moment, like what am I seeing, or
Mhm.
WTF? Oh God, it's there again, or
I think
Or-
next
you know.
episode you find out.
Like Courtney's gonna be like, Dad was Starman,
And she's gonna be like, what?
she could shoot it down, and she could affirm it. I mean, it's
No, she's gonna be like, he was a drunken one night stand when I was, you know, so I'm like, I mean, I'm not trying to
But
say it,
still.
it's gonna be, I don't even remember his effing name.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Nathan's. I really do. I think it's going to be a thing where her and Sylvester weren't dating, but it just kind of happened, and she doesn't know that Sylvester is like Barbara doesn't know that he's Starman, you know, and she
because he was
obviously
just
right.
he was just slick
Has-
Rick when she saw him all drunk
Exactly.
and stuff.
Has
They
anyone
Google- and they
read any
googly eyed each
Stargirl?
other.
Has anyone read any Stargirl comics?
No,
I've read
Chris probably has.
I've only read JSA's run at that point, so
Do
I've
you
not. Yeah, I've
know-
not. I know about what's going on and how
Uh-huh.
different it is, but
I don't know nothing.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I bet you
I
Google.
just
it.
come in blind.
Oh, I'm not gonna leak it. I'm not gonna say.
Oh, come on.
her lineage- no,
Spoiled.
no,
No,
no.
Spoiler.
I mean,
Come on.
yes, I do. You're right. I do know the lineage.
Spoiler
I do know
alert.
that.
Spoiler alert.
I don't
Go ahead,
want.
Travis.
No.
Come on.
I don't want.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
not
try-
saying
don't do
we
it
spoil everything else.
No.
Why not this?
No.
because this isn't out there yet.
No.
All right.
Just send us a
Fine.
message.
I bet you
Fine.
Google
Not
knows.
it.
Let's see.
Not it.
No, but I just think it's this show.
Don't
is-
spoil it for yourself, Greg. I can see you
No.
looking it up right now.
But I just will say for this show, the way they're unveiling everything, the way the relationships, and you know, it really keeps you intrigued. It really
Do-
sucks you in. So
Do we
and-
think she's going to get another member of the team, or is it going to be just these four or five technically? With
well, you
Pat
still have
for this
the
season?
pin out there.
I think that's next
There's a
season.
lan-
I think
There's
that.
a lantern in that bag too.
Yeah, but
There's a
you need a
what?
ring for that. Lantern's
Yeah.
pointless without the ring.
Where's the helmet of fate at? Didn't we see the helmet? Wasn't it sitting somewhere?
Where's my flashing green lantern in the show? I was promised things.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Multi
Well,
games.
I want to know when are we going to see more of the actual JSA? Because, like I said, Joel McHale's a big name to have out there
Hey,
for 15 seconds
It's
of
not
screen
about
time.
him.
I know it's not
about
about him,
Stargirl.
but 15
About
seconds
his
of
fake
screen
daughter.
time? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Greg, most
It's
of them
I'm
were
thinking
killed.
either.
Most of them, yes, but you can have flashbacks. I don't think I'm not talking about actually having like a aged, 25 years later Joel McHale or 20 years later Joel McHale on there. I'm talking about have flashbacks of JSA before they were killed. You know, I just expected to
Okay.
see more of that, but we haven't seen it yet. We may still, but we haven't seen it yet.
I'm
So.
thinking it's going to be either the last episode or like the first episode of the second season.
Maybe they'll do like they did in Titans, where the first episode of the second season should have been the last episode of the first season.
What do you mean?
Maybe, hopefully not. Hopefully they'll wrap up this with a nice little bow, and then just go ahead and just blow our minds with the first episode of the second season, like kind of like the way they came at us first episode of this season. You're just, oh.
What were you asking?
Do what they did in Titans. Do what they did in Titans and fuck it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they don't.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Just wipe that away. Wipe that away.
Oh God!
Someone who obviously is not affected by electricity is going to die by electricity.
Or would be affected like that.
Back-to-back terrible season finale. I think this season is so important for Titans, but I think if it has a very good, successful, like, critical, and like a lot of views and downloads, they could get the HBO Max. I really think they could.
I think it'll be on.
They've got to stick it
because it's like DC Universe is imploding on itself.
It is.
That's about to be a comic. That's about to be a
comics will stay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the comic reader will stay.
You might have an animated film or two on there, but it's going to be mainly your comic go-to.
Well, they can market that to the entire world. Then.
Well, we don't want anybody but
yes,
the US.
Some people don't still get it, right?
That's right.
Some people in Canada have it.
Yeah.
We folks here can sit here. Yeah, your little southern neighbors, we can sit here and fuss about it all we want to, but our northern neighbors are like.
Same with HBO. Warner does not like the international scene.
Yeah, they're like,
well, it's because they made licensing deals before this app, because their thinking was too backwards. They weren't up on the streaming. Like when Netflix came out, they should have been on the ball. Instead, they're like, "Oh, we'll just sell you our thing so you can put it on there, and we'll sell them to cable companies and blah blah blah."
I think they've heard of Travis Hines, and they're like, "After this guy, he keeps saying he wants this one."
Well, Nathan, I can't get HBO Max, so we'll be back. We'll be back on it up.
I know.
We'll still
I'll
get
have
you
to either
somewhere.
give up DC or take up HBO Max. So I hope
We've got some VHSs coming your way, Travis. You know.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Speaking of VHSs, what y'all think about Henry finding his dad's VHSs and kind of going through those tape by tape? Thought that was pretty cool way.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Really cool training montage.
I'm kind of glad my kid wasn't watching that, because then he'd be like, "Mom, what is this? How does he watch it? Why can't he just, son? I don't want to explain cassettes or VHSs to you. I just can't do it right now."
I'll sit you down and I will educate you one day.
That's right.
Yes,
Just remember, if you go through your parents' closet and you find special suits, it doesn't always end up that cool as it did on this show. All right, just put it out there. But
again. Super Civil Servants After Dark.
Yeah, we're getting kicked off YouTube, yo.
That's where we're gonna have our fans only. We're gonna launch our fans only very soon, guys.
Actually,
that's why I keep my kids out of my closet.
Yeah.
But no, it was pretty cool. I loved how they had that scene, and you see you see Henry actually doing the exact same stuff his dad was doing, even picking up the exact same kind of can of soda or whatever it was to learn his telekinetic abilities. Well,
you kind of feel for him a little bit, because all this stuff is happening, and his dad's in a coma in a hospital, and he's just like, I don't. It's almost like puberty that nobody has explained to him. So he's just like, I don't know what's going on.
What am I doing with this?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, these feelings. What do I do with that? Well, I guess it was kind of helpful for him too, because it's not like, didn't seem like his dad was like the most caring dad. So
No, it didn't.
And, Travis brought this up on DC Alliance too. Like, how terrible would it be to hear what everybody's thinking all the time? Like, don't get me wrong. Like the movie What Women Want, it seems like it'd be a really cool ability to have.
Y'all don't want to know.
But no,
you don't want to know. You
realistically, I don't think
you
you want that power. Exactly. I mean, and hearing what everybody says.
Everything I thought tonight was going to be about, man, did not see that movie getting brought up.
That's just true.
Wow.
No, that's just too easy. Like you're not.
If you could turn it off and turn it on.
Okay, yeah, but you're not going to be a Professor X. You're not going to be like most people aren't. Most people are going to fall to the dark side, unfortunately. They're going to be like, what? I'm going to use this so I can get to the top. I'm going to blackmail and I'm going to know my stock price and know, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the unfortunate truth.
Well, it's just like in Courtney too, because she had I guess she's like the shining star in like the dark or whatnot, because she said, because Henry was, harping on, well, everybody's bad, because that's what his dad was saying. He's like, everybody inherently are evil monsters. And she's like, well, maybe not everybody, if you're here, like, I don't want to be in a hospital and hear somebody's thoughts, because a hospital is like the worst place to hear somebody's thoughts. I mean, because honestly, how much hope is in a hospital? Especially if you,
The
unless
baby
you're-
ward.
yeah, exactly. Unless
Yeah.
you're on, that side. But, honestly, think about that. If you're, somebody's suffering and, that kind of thing, especially, what he's going through, with his dad, because he doesn't know if his dad is going to live or die, or, he doesn't know what's going on, especially, the lawyers coming in.
Girlfriend's
And
a C word.
yeah, oh God, that's not even, yeah. So, I mean, he's just, he doesn't know what to think. So, the one person you feel like you can trust is, your dad. And obviously his dad is, cynical, corrupt, that kind of thing, because, right out of the gate, he has the same, he's experimenting on himself. And I'm assuming as a result of his experiments, that's why he was, telepathic and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But it's interesting how it, was it genetically to his son, or did he test on his son?
Genetically, I think
Yeah, I
we
think he
assume.
passed it along. Yeah.
So, but I mean, when the one person that you would trust I would assume would be, your parent that had raised you. So
Sure.
if your parent's like, well, I can read minds, and people are inherently evil, and you're starting to read minds, and that's basically what you're hitting on, is everybody's negativity. So, I mean, I will, give Courtney a little credit, to kind of help him say, well, not everybody's all like that. Everybody does have bad days, but that, because you have a bad day doesn't necessarily say, okay, this is who I am as a person. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting. So,
Oh, very, very, very much so. This whole show is crazy interesting. I wanted to ask y'all, did y'all know, what did y'all think? Because every time we've seen Shining Knight on screen, with the exception of the one time he brings his sword out and kind of helps out Courtney, it's just been a real quick scene with a real crazy saying, or something, that just sounds out of place or out of time. And this time we saw him where his mop just turns into the cosmic scepter. Yeah, cosmic staff. And scepter, cosmic staff, and then just disappears. Like, what do y'all think that means? Like, are these scenes gonna make sense at some point in
I don't
time?
have a.
Yes,
I
I'm
think
sure.
so.
Yeah,
I don't have a clue.
because
It
I
will.
think this dude's gonna pop. He's gonna pop up at like one opportune time, and it's just
Well,
gonna.
We heard him
something's
say
gonna click.
Stripesy. We heard him say Stripesy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he did save Courtney.
I want him to talk ye old English when he finally breaks out of everything, beard off,
Bring out the
everything
sword,
like,
bring
you
out
know.
the claymore. Yeah.
just pure Justice League Unlimited.
I want him
You know.
to talk about his time with Morgan Le Fay, and like everybody goes, and Stripes be like, just like rolling eyes. He's heard the story so many times.
let's see. I'm trying to look at the rest of my notes for.
I just don't
Okay.
like the situation now that Pat's in, because
I've
now
never liked the
Barbara's
situation
found
he's in. In any movie
now
he's
Barbara's found
ever
out
in.
she's gonna kill him. She's gonna
No.
kill him.
In every movie Luke Wilson is ever in, he's in a situation that's like, oh man, I feel bad for this guy. Or, oh crap.
He's like, I have
Like,
the
what's he
best
gonna do?
intentions. This is
Everything,
not.
yes.
This doesn't look right. This
Yeah.
is. Let me explain.
Well, he goes through life, and they're like, Wilson, are you the WoW guy? And he's like, no, that's my nephew.
That's my brother.
I
I'm the
would
one,
take
I'm the
Luke
one who's
over
always
Owen
sad and always
any
getting
day.
shitted on, but wins in the end.
Yeah. And he's like, damn it, no. I wish I would have thought, wow. Just wowed every movie.
Hmm. Do y'all think Henry meant to kill that lawyer at the end, or
Yes.
you think so?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I think
He,
it might
was
have been
try-
like
he realized he was trying to take advantage of him. He was full of
Yeah,
it.
he was like, F you.
right, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you're
just didn't know if it was like his dad, where his dad, the guy, was trying to rob him, and he didn't mean to kill that guy, but he realized he did. I think
Well,
maybe.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, I think he wanted to really hurt him, but obviously untrained, he
Right.
doesn't
Right.
Didn't know how to
understand.
control
So
it enough.
Right.
Okay.
definitely wanted to hurt him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was like, you're.
And to crush his face.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah,
Pop
man,
in
that's
like
about all the
a pimple.
notes I've got. We talked about Stargirl. I mean, it feels like forever since I watched Stargirl, but it was only a few days ago.
Oh.
But I'm ready, the new one comes
That's
out
because
pretty
Doom Patrol is so fresh in our brains
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
now.
like, what the F? Are we ready to get to that?
That's true.
Because,
Yep,
we can.
That was some crazy shit.
soon. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get to some Doom Patrol. Unless you got anything else you want to say about Stargirl.
Nope.
I can't
All
wait till
right.
next
Barbara
week.
knows.
The next-
That's all I got to say.
No,
Barbara
Beth
knows.
still is not growing on me, but maybe 2 millimeters she's growing on me a little bit. But other than that, I'm hoping by the end of it, I'm like, yeah, dear Beth.
Who? What? What'd you say?
Yeah.
I could have
Nathan.
taken it way differently. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, all right. Well, Nathan, start us off, man. Doom Patrol. This one Space Patrol? Was the name of the episode?
Yes.
The
Space
Patrol.
Patrol.
Like, what the F? Like this, like
Wasn't
know, I
this one
wanna
like
be-
a little more? I don't know. It
it was
wasn't.
weird.
It was a little
weird, man.
heavier. It was a little
Mhm.
heavier.
Like
Meaning?
there was a lot of what the F moments in this episode.
See, I don't
all
really
the
think
stuff-
so. Just the very end for me. But go ahead. Give me some what the F moments.
Well, just kind of like just kind of going on in the underground, and them all like just seeing all these the personalities coming out, and like they're gonna go and kill or throw the two personas down, and like the little wax prints in there, and like these people come from space from the '60s. Like what the like this. There was a lot of just like what the F.
Smacking
like,
ass. I mean, what was up with that?
Yeah, well, yeah, and then like it also when they took that one girl had the a spirit,
Native
just like
spirit too.
yeah, and I was like, whoa, like that one kind of like got me, and then
Mhm.
oh god, what was it? Like good,
We had
just going to space.
How do
I'm
you
going
have a
to one day.
spaceship in your garage?
Because you're Miles
Doom
Calder.
Patrol.
Yeah,
There's
you're
your
Miles-
reason.
Yeah, you're
Miles
Miles
Calder.
It
Calder.
is
yeah.
like it is.
I know we're all team F Niles Calder because like what the man, God, I hate him.
Now I do. After the last, I mean, I didn't like him very much before, but now I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yes.
And then by the end of the season, you'll all be loving him.
Probably.
No,
Probably.
No. Of all people to shoot out of an airlock, no.
Didn't see it coming either. Not
No.
at
I
all.
did. I
He
did.
still-
Nope. I did. When he said put the helmet up, I went. I looked at Jamie because Jamie was watching with me. I said, "Oh God, he's about to suck him in space." And then like, you think he's going to, and I was like, "Oh, Cliff saying that, maybe he'll be." And he's like, "No." So I'm like, "You mother."
tired of your complaining and F this, F that.
But
Come
I
on,
don't get
grow,
that
grow a little
because-
bit more.
I don't get that because after the fact, especially it's almost like Cliff bonded with Dorothy a little bit. I mean, it was
Mhm.
like, he was, because it became.
I think he bonded with Chief. Chief basically had a breakdown while
Yeah.
they were going in space,
No.
and Cliff was
they-
just there looking at him.
They've always all been expandable to Calder because he caused all this so that he could play God, and he's always been an asshole.
What
He
the
didn't
hell's
do
up
it
with
to
the-
play
the
God.
finger?
He didn't say
Did
he
to save his
live.
daughter, right? He wanted to live long enough to be able to have somebody to figure out how to protect her.
But just causing all that and ruining your life so that he could do something. Fuck
Yeah, but
him.
Nathan, all those people, he didn't really ruin their lives. All those people
Yeah.
were terrible people.
Cliff.
Like Cliff was
But come on.
Cliff was a terrible person.
Would you
Well-
want in a robot? He can't feel. He can't touch. He can't
I know,
cry, he can't-
Well,
I know.
no,
I was gonna say
because
just because he's a bad person doesn't mean he deserves
Get
to
the
lose
fuck
all
out
that
of
stuff.
here.
I'll
No,
give
I
Nathan
didn't
that.
say
You know,
a
I
lot
didn't
of
say
a
that.
lot of
I'm
their
just saying it's not the Chief's fault.
Well,
that they're in
okay,
this.
but
yeah, a lot of their
like, Rita, he
situations is
caused
like
Rita
because they
she was
put
all
themselves
vain.
in that situation.
Ugh, gross.
I
Making
know,
it like
I know. Well, I thought that was a big thing for Rita too, because she was going in thinking that she was going to audition for Our Town, which is the play. I guess
Mhm.
I know which one she was talking about, but then come to find out, it was where he's sucked it and was said the donkey. I was like, oh, that
yeah,
town.
it's basically the
Okay.
story of season one, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then
telling,
she asked the girl. She said, "Who are you playing?" She's like, "Oh, the blob lady," and she's like,
which was her.
really? So yeah, I think that was kind of a. I feel for Rita. I really do. I mean, it's and like I said, throughout
Me
this
too.
season, you get more of the backstory. Not really more of the backstory, but you kind of
I want to see her
realize
master
that they
her
were
powers.
crappy people, and now because of them being crappy, they're basically karma has really bitten them in the ass. So, and they're
How
trying to
about,
dig out of it.
How about Miranda all of a sudden jumping out of this well, like they'll take and assuming primary? Like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
That's
James?
the first time we've seen her,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, they
I don't
talked
really
about her in
remember
season one.
her.
No,
So
they
this-
talked
this
about
is
her
the
in
one-
season
You didn't really see her.
Mm-mm.
Right, but
Never
this
really
is the
seen
one.
I remember
This is
the
the
name,
girl,
but I
right?
don't really remember.
Yeah, she's
what
the former
she-
primary. She's the former primary before Jane had to take over because she threw herself down this well, and all of a sudden
Yep.
she come out with like floaty
Looking like
fire
an
powers.
angel.
And Jane called it. She said, "It's like, are we sure they're really? We've never seen something like this,
Mhm.
in this way." And Miranda basically says, "You're right. They've got to be reborn at this point, but I'm taking control."
So Lazarus
that's-
pit time, right? Lazarus
So
pit
who do you
time.
Without
who do
the
you
messy
think
side
came
effects.
Right.
when Jane sat up? Who do you think that was?
That
That's
was Miranda.
Miranda.
No, that's
That's-
Miranda.
Oh, yeah,
That's
definitely.
Miranda.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting
I
to
want to
see.
know. I want to know if somebody infiltrated the underground. Like, I know it sounds weird, but we're in a place where like Mr. Nobody took him to the white spaces of a comic book and stuff. So like,
Ooh,
I
and
want to know.
Beard
somebody-
guy's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know if somebody infiltrated the underground and is presenting themselves as to use Jane for their own devices
Yeah,
that might
it's
lead
possible.
into season 3 or something.
That
you
is
know
Well,
what I mean?
you had
Completely
Candlemaker.
possible,
He
mate.
went into there and just wreaked
Right,
havoc.
well,
So I mean, who's to
but-
say anybody else couldn't, or any other?
Or maybe just
entity couldn't.
because he broke in, like that was the way that the whoever came in there, because that's a good. It made sense for him because he's a witch and he could chase down. Because he only wanted to kill Baby Doll, not Jane's body, to kill all of them. You know what I mean? Like in that sunfire thing or whatever. So that made perfect sense that he would go into the mind to kill that persona. So in my weird book, like that weird logic was like, oh yeah, makes perfect sense.
Well,
You know what I
it
mean?
also makes me wonder if, based on how much Niles knows about Jane and the fact that he has a map of the underground or the underworld, whatever it's called,
Underground.
maybe he knows
Underground.
how to
Underground,
get
okay.
in.
Underground.
maybe
Maybe he
he's
knows
been
how to
there.
get in.
Maybe he knows how to get in. Because think
Well-
about it. How else would he have a map of it?
Cliff's already been in there though.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was
True.
Nobody did that.
That's
He shoved him in there or whatever.
I don't know if they're. I mean, it's a good, definitely good theory that he's been in there, but I don't. We've never heard that, and you see how Jane got really upset that following her down there. So it doesn't seem like if he's never gone on record. It's definitely we have the evidence that they've had conversations, stuff like that. So he definitely could have talked to different personalities and made a quote unquote theorized map of what the underground is
Yeah,
based on his conversations.
I guess it's
Well, I thought
possible.
it was interesting that the one thing that Niles said was something about you can't understand, or something to the effect of a damaged mind. And I feel
Yeah.
like this entire episode that was the theme of this episode, because it just really struck me, like I said, like the funerary procession, like when they were like with the music and the imagery, and just like, oh my gosh, this is just, for some reason that just kind of struck me, and I'm just thinking that, this is just, it's taken a totally different direction than what this show normally does. Normally it's WTF this, or
It was.
shit,
They had
or
weird parasite guys that died because they brought them back to Earth. They got infected. And they were being all grab assy and whatever. Like
and then they buried him because they were like some kind of
No,
plant.
they didn't
Yeah,
bury
they
him.
were
They
done.
just threw him into a hole and walked
yeah,
away.
see, Greg, I noticed that too.
They just threw him in a
they
hole
said,
and walked away. I was
if
like, what the
something-
hell?
If some fruit grows from here, don't
Don't
mess
eat
it
Yeah,
it.
up.
but he didn't backfill. You saw the pile of dirt there. I was like, "What are you doing, asshole? Go fill your
They
hole."
just turned around and walked away. I was like, what the hell? They're not going to bury him?
Hey,
But I
hey,
kinda-
guys,
the hole.
guess what, guys? Gravity's amazing.
But I kind of felt for Larry too, because here you have somebody that has an entity that they've taken on too, and she made the statement
Learn how to
that
repair.
yeah, she said, well, you find that harmony when you don't realize it's an it or a she, it's a we. And she's like, he's like, how long did it take you? 5 years. He's like, 5 years.
Which I'm not going
I,
to lie.
I wanted him to be like, lady, I
Well-
don't want to hear about your 5 years.
Look at it like this too. She's in space for the last 65 years by herself. Nobody else I imagine it's easier to focus on something like learning how to connect with your inner negative spirit than it would be for like Larry, who's on Earth, has the issues
has
he
life
has,
that he has to deal with,
the
even
what-
though everybody
yeah,
thinks
so
he's dead.
I feel like it
so,
might be easier in space.
A
Maybe that's why she
tortured
was able to do it in
soul.
5 years. But
yeah.
I don't know. She
But
could
it's-
just be better.
Maybe she can help him. Maybe
I think she
can
will. I
help him
think
kind
we'll
of.
see her more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just kind of glad to see that there may possibly be some help for him to kind of I mean, he does have a relationship with his spirit, or with the spirit. They do have a dialogue. So it's like,
They're communicating a lot better now.
So do
Yeah,
you think he'll ever
absolutely.
get to the point where he doesn't have to wear the bandages?
if he doesn't, what's he gonna look like?
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
That look is so iconic with that character.
I got you. Be like taking Rorschach's mask off. There's
That'd
no
be
point.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that might be the swan song. If 6 seasons in they do a happily ever after, which I don't think they will, but maybe it's him shedding the bandages and going off.
Maybe
to,
that would be like the final episode of the final season.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
whenever
Like,
that
when
happens.
we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Or we can unwrap it. So, I mean,
Or unwrap it.
So the only really question we have now is how long can Cliff live in space, drifting for eternity?
He's
That
gonna
was
freeze
bullshit.
up. He's gonna
That was
freeze up. His
bullshit.
batteries are gonna drain because the cold will zap that battery. He's just gonna
Nutrient
shut
tank's
down.
gonna
That
run
brain-
out. All right.
That brain's gonna die.
Okay, well, what was he going to do with that finger anyways?
Make him touch stuff.
Make him
Very
feel,
well
but-
put, Nathan. Very well put.
I mean...
What do you
okay,
do with
yeah,
fingers?
that-
You touch
He
stuff.
could have easily sent Robot Man back towards the planet they were just at, or moon, whatever they
No,
were just on.
he marooned him in space, which makes me
Because-
think somebody's
No,
gonna
he's-
pick him
No,
up.
you-
He's somewhere because he's definitely somewhere at this point with the next episode.
yeah.
Why though? I just don't understand the reasoning behind it. But then again, this is Doom
If you
Patrol.
if you've seen the
He had a
preview,
goat
you
that
might know.
powered that ship.
I have
A
not seen the
goat
preview
head.
actually.
Yeah, you might know why he did what he did.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Okay.
I have to call there. I'll karate kick him in
I
his
see.
wheelchair.
Maybe
I think
need to-
I think Chief is going to go see a certain somebody.
A little bit.
Okay. Maybe I have to watch the preview for the next episode then. I'm excited about that. But y'all got me excited about
Why
Doom
y'all
Patrol.
being so enigmatic? What's going on here? Am I missing something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just don't want to spoil it. If you don't
Yeah.
end up watching it, you'll be surprised when you.
Kind of like why we don't want you looking up who Stargirl's father is.
Even though I know Travis already has, and he's telling me not to. Now he's
Yeah,
gonna
don't
hang it.
do
Now
it.
he's gonna hang it
I've
over my
read-
head.
Do it.
Jabroni Jack.
Greg, I read the comic run. Like I want to say, like
Sure.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
Pretty
That
sure.
does not necessarily mean
only
it's
12
true.
episodes. Only 12. Nathan. I didn't read the full
Easy.
like.
Nathan.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
Oh well, we're looking forward to the next episode. It's like it's
Yeah.
Stargirl and Doom Patrol have just
I want to binge it.
totally, yeah, absolutely. They have just absolutely just
Blown me
Wow.
away.
Mm-hmm.
wow,
Yeah,
Wow.
100%.
wow.
Yeah, I'm just. It should. How far are we in Doom Patrol? We're about halfway through now, right? Episode 5's on
No,
I
the
think,
we're
that
over.
was, I think
No.
that was episode 6.
Yeah, we
I'm
got
like-
3 more.
I'm
That's it.
liking
Yeah, there's
Victor
not that
too.
many on that one.
That's right. There was supposed to be 10. There's only 9. That's right.
I'm liking Victor's story a lot better this season. He feels a lot more part of the team. He feels like he's got more to do.
Okay,
I
he
like
got like
this.
excited when he said Star Labs. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Star Labs. Oh, okay.
Chris, you
I mean, I know
explain-
it's been mentioned before, but still.
Chris, you explained the thing his girlfriend was in. What is it called? The quorum. Quorum. Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
You
It's
explained that
just
in the chat the other day.
it's just a secret military group that they were trying to put powers in others at that point.
Okay.
It's got some history. I think it's gone against Checkmate a couple of times.
Okay. Probably won't get any more on that. You don't think in the future?
No,
just
it's a
name
throwaway line. It's just basically one of your standard Easter eggs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe something they might touch on it in another season, perhaps.
Perhaps.
maybe. I mean, it could be the new Bureau of the
Normal.
the
Normalcy or-
Bureau of Normalcy. Yeah,
Content's going to be drying up a little bit after these 2 shows are off the air.
we got boys.
We're gonna have to start making up our own
What's the
stuff.
deal with
yeah.
Titans? Have they?
Chris.
I can't remember. Has Titans?
No,
Do they have a?
no, Titans.
Or they just been
no.
like just kind of.
They never got a chance.
They've
to
never
start
got a
filming.
chance to start.
Chris, is Transformers next weekend?
I thought it was the 30th. Is it 30th?
Is it okay? The 30th. Okay, I don't know what I
think,
was at.
actually-
30th is like.
So we got that
12
coming.
days. 12,
Like
12
mid-
days.
Umbrella Academy, which I know you.
I was just
turd
about,
burglars
just
haven't
about to
watched
say
yet.
that we have Umbrella Academy and Transformers coming up. We
Yeah.
will not dry up soon, and then
Give me
right after
time.
that is the boys.
Yeah, and then the boys. I'm ready
Boys
for that.
right
Like,
after all
They're,
that,
yeah, they're
so-
like what September
I
4th
can't-
or something like
I
that.
can't wait to get more Homelander. Like that's God. I can't. That Anthony
Throwing babies
Starr.
off of. You reckon that's her baby? You reckon that's her little one?
Mhm.
What was her face?
No, I think he
Yep,
let that baby
July
blow up.
30th. Premiere July 30th.
30s. Yeah, I think he let that baby blow up there. I think the baby gone.
I think the baby.
He's a dick.
That's true. That's right because he was.
He don't
Yeah.
give a shit. He waved a little kid, then fucking cut his plane in half. I was like, yeah, I don't care about you. You're dead.
He's
What
such
an
a
a-hole.
dude. God, he's such a dude.
I want to see him though.
Me too.
You know.
I'm waiting for Maeve to just take him out. She's like, dude, I'm so sick of your crap.
I
I
hope
want
she gets a
somebody-
bigger character role in the next
Well,
season.
I want somebody now that
Figure
powers.
crap.
Well, now that powers are going out to other countries thanks to him. I want like another country's Superman. Like, let's give me their equivalency to a Black Adam to come in,
somebody to come in where when Homelander gets hit, he goes, ow. You know what I mean? He goes, oh shit, because right now he's the top dog and he knows it. Nobody can hurt him. You know, he's.
Well, it's like the other one is like he just basically would go subatomic or whatnot, and he just go nuclear and just blow up, and dude's like, really? Seriously? That's all you got?
That's what I mean. I want somebody to come up with a power level that, like, when he hits him, he goes, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, Queen Maeve can do it, but we obviously he can take it, and she knows it. You know what I mean? Like she's the Wonder Woman in this, but she knows that he can still take her. So, like, I want somebody that can just come in and hit him hard, like give him a General Zod, or like I said, like a Black Adam. Somebody, if they're ripping off the deep, like let's give another rip off of somebody real powerful to give him a fight, a Doomsday, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Let's give him a challenge.
Yeah, because homie needs to kind of himself. Somebody needs to go show him like you're not just top dog.
I don't think it was ever announced except that he was going to be in it, but we all think Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to be Black Noir, right?
Really?
Ooh, I don't know. That would be pretty cool.
Because Black Noir is that you didn't really see too much of him in like the first go round. I mean, he was just
and that's
like,
people didn't complain.
He looked like
they were
Snake Eyes.
Yeah, well, people could not. They complained. They said we want more on Black Noir because he's like the Batman of this, you know.
Yeah, no, he's Snake Eyes, dude. I mean, he's like,
yeah, you're right.
So they're giving him more. I think I'm not saying he's going to be like the forefront, but I think he's going to have more of a role in this. And they said Jeffrey Dean Morgan's in there now. Maybe he's a bad guy or one of the board, the council, or whatever. But I just kind of think that we might get a little more backstory, and I think it might be Jeffrey Dean Morgan who is Black Noir.
Maybe he's playing Black Noir as Thomas Wayne. You know?
In
The Boys. It could happen, y'all. Ultimate crossover. You know?
What do you think?
It's some
Chris?
kind of crossover. It's definitely in your head.
You think we're going to see Black Noir's face?
No, I don't.
So.
No.
Well,
I think
just
that's
shit all over my dreams. Thanks.
I think he's just that type of character where he's
Might even be
just
the international man of mystery.
yeah, exactly.
I think Travis is over there watching a hockey game.
No, listen.
I'm just messing with you, man.
The sharp screensaver is on my TV.
No, I'm actually looking forward to The Boys. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it because
I
it's.
think everybody is. Yeah, it's.
I got my wife to watch the first episode. She's gonna catch up so that she can be ready.
I told my other half. I said, "Dude, you've got to watch this. It's he knows it's, you know, kind of
insane.
Out there,
in the
yeah,
membrane.
he knows." But I'm like, "Dude, you've got to watch this because this is crazy."
I love when I have somebody at work comes up to me and says something like this, like, "Hey, have you seen this show called The Boys?" I was watching the film through the school the other day. It was pretty good. I was like, "No, what are you talking about? Explain it to me." It's so fun to have that happen. It happens all the time. But yeah, man, good stuff. The Boys. We weren't even talking about The Boys. I think we were just finishing up our Doom Patrol review and walked right into The Boys and stuff.
We're talking about more content. We're talking about
the well going on. That's right.
That's
right.
Shows. They're fresh. They're
Mandalorian's
different. They're
coming.
new. It's something that you haven't seen before, and it really grabs you.
Travis,
and
if we have a lull, Mandalorian will be in October. So even if we get through to the Boys and stuff, and we have a lull, the Mandalorian's
we'll be
in
alright.
October.
We'll be alright with Mandalorian.
So
We'll
maybe
be
this
alright,
year
that's right.
we got stuff to look forward to, just no movies because they're just taking everything and just throwing it to
We
next
just gotta do
year.
some reviews on movies, man. Some old stuff. You
Wonder
know?
Woman was filmed in 1984 at this point. It's just been sitting in a vault for fucking 31 years, it feels like.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why y'all just
Come
ruined
on.
it. Y'all ruined it for me because you're like, oh, they've already got pictures of Cheetah. No, I saw it.
It's good.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
but that
I'm
wasn't
just-
a great picture. It was, you know, it was
I'm not what I'm
Yeah.
going ready
You're a
as silence
Cheetah.
on that. I'm going ready as
I'm
silence.
pretty sure my theater's gonna be open pretty soon, but we won't get new movies unfortunately.
So
If it's not already open.
if I bring a John boat, can I make it to your island from where I'm at?
I know where you
think-
are though. I looked at it on the map and it actually showed up.
I'm taking a cruise up
It
there.
actually showed
I know
up.
where Mississauga is.
I'm taking a cruise up there. I'm gonna stop in
Travis, can we have
Travis' hometown.
Can we have a social distance movie date? Like I'm cool. I'm cool.
Will they let Americans up there? I mean,
Sit on different roads?
No, he's smuggling me into the country.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
that's
the Americans
exactly
up
what I'm telling people. On YouTube, cut that out, Greg.
Unfortunately, Americans are banned from traveling to Canada.
Well,
But
you're smuggling me.
not only that, anyone from Canada traveling to my province got to quarantine for 14 days before they can go out.
Wow.
What if I wear the Bubble Boy suit? What if I wear the Bubble Boy suit? Does that work?
I think you'd be good. I think you'd be good.
Yes. All right. We got a plan.
All right, we all need to get suits so we can just just bombard Travis and be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Americans
Yeah,
are
like
banned
Aaron-
from coming to Canada right now.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
That's right.
I mean, you're
No, it's
Nobody
not.
wants us
No, it's
around.
not.
Nobody
It's
wants us
not.
around.
It's
We're like Corona fucking Central right now. Nobody wants our asses anywhere.
I wear my
Yeah.
I wore my
I
Stone
barely
Fruit
want
mask.
our butts here.
That's true.
Actually, this weekend is just showing the Dark Knight. Batman Begins, the Dark Knight, and the Dark
your
Knight
province?
Rises.
Yeah, Snell just did that
That's
a
what they
couple of
did with
weeks ago.
Snail last week. Yeah.
Yeah. 1
Well,
o'clock,
you better
5
get in there.
o'clock. I might go see Batman
Hey,
Begins,
we've got
actually.
our drive-ins have been kicking around here. Where
You
I
still
live,
have
there's
drive-in?
2 drive-ins, and they've been kicking. Yeah, well,
Mhm.
there's one that's like 45 minutes away, and then there's one that's like an hour and a half away. But they've been.
There's 7 people
Boom.
right now.
As-
There's 7 people occupying seats.
yeah,
I'm starting to fade, ladies and gentlemen.
I hear you.
Same.
It's getting there. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the drive movie theater around the street as soon as I win. Not win the
Whatever.
lottery, but my stock goes
Sure.
crazy. So it's up today. We're gonna see what happens. But all right, we got through everything. We chased a few squirrels at the end. It's about time. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Chris, where can they find you, at, buddy?
You can find me on Twitter at Chris Balga. You can follow the 2 shows. They got Marvel Alliance on Mondays with Mr. Travis Snell, and then follow that at Marvel A Podcast, and then you got World's Finest True Believers at Finest Believers. The episode that's retro episode this week is going all the way back to when our friend Lisa, joined the podcast and took at Batman and Robin Eternal. It's the retro
Nice.
drop this week.
Nice.
And Lisa will actually be with us next week to do some Indiana Jones stuff. So
A little bit of some Temple of Doom action.
that's right. That's right. Sarah, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at My Lady Kitten. You can also find me. You can also find me in the chat room for one of Greg's which obviously he was not there Tuesday night
No.
because you
No,
missed
he
a whole
wasn't.
lot.
Yeah,
Greg, even I was there.
I know, even
you're there every week. You were just waiting to drop a LeBron or a Michael Jordan thing in the chat room.
He
I
did.
did. I did.
He
I did.
I bet he
No
did.
response.
Don't worry, Greg. They were kind of off the rails that night anyway
Yeah.
from when I was in there. So, but yeah, that's the C3 Thirst podcast because I still like talking about my cats, even though I'm not quite sure there's going to be a season, much less of what is going to be going on. So,
2020 is a
Sarah,
wash.
you should-
Everything's canceled.
yeah.
Sarah, you should
Yes.
talk to Tony about coming on the show one time. I'd love to have you.
Dude, I don't know if they can handle me up there because, man, did you listen to Tuesday? Because even even
did not.
CK was like, Sarah, sorry, we'll talk about what you want to in a minute because
Yeah. No,
no, it was fun. So you can kind of catch me in there because that's my other love as well. So
All right. Nathan, where do they find you, at, buddy?
You can find me on the Sexiest of Weeklies, bi-weekly with Katie on the Star Wars Alliance podcast. That's at Star Wars Alliance without the R or A in Wars on Twitter. But Katie and I, every other week, we get into a galaxy far, far away and try to talk about the news and retro stuff and just go on tangents. It's here we chase squirrels, there we chase swamp rats, and you can hear our love and passion for Star Wars there. And
Got him in my
recently-
T16 back home.
yeah, and I was recently
Well, that's
on
report.
her other show that comes out the opposite week, Slice of Film, where we talked about Batman '89 because it was Katie's first experience with Keaton, Nicholson, all that, and it was a great conversation. Or I think it was anyway, and
Was
she it was very interesting to hear her thoughts.
Mhm.
So and then you can find me on Twitter at WobblyBoots85, and feel free to shoot me a little message or whatever.
There you go. There you go. T-Bone,
Chris,
latest for you, man. Where do they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Travis_156. I do both DC Alliance and superhero discussions with Greg, Tuesdays and Fridays for the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network. Also, we did a couple special recordings for Patreon contributors the past couple days, and those were great fun. I had quite a laugh, so I'm anxious to see what the patrons think of that.
And like you said, man, you can find me at the Bat Daddy 52, and like Travis said, I'm with him every Tuesday on Geek Ultimate Alliance and every Friday on superhero discussions. I'm on, like Sarah said, I'm on C3 Panthers podcasts on Tuesdays. I'm on Super Civil Servants on Fridays. And with as much as I podcast, I don't understand why you can't find me somewhere every day, because I've been off vacation for like 10 days, and I think I've done 8 podcasts in the last 10 days I've been off vacation. So it feels like you should be able to hear me every day
Overachiever.
somewhere.
Dude, you were super missed on Tuesday.
Nathan,
I'm telling
Nathan,
you,
he
were
was
super
chirping.
missed.
Nathan, he was chirping you earlier for how much you're reading.
Overachiever.
But yeah, then you can find me just about anywhere. Check out, it'll be all the show handles be in the show notes where you can find all these cats at. And we'll be back next week. We try to do this every Friday. We're bringing some Temple of Doom next week. A couple of Sarah, of course, will be here. Hopefully, Lisa's going to be here. Hopefully, Kay's going to be here. It's going to be a huge show. Lots of people to talk about, some Indiana Jones stuff, news, Stargirl, Doom Patrol, everything we cover. Umbrella Academy's coming up.
Boys.
It's time to get out of here. Y'all keep pounding. I'll see you next week. Keep listening.
And just remember,
Later,
press
guys.
sucks.
Peace.
See you guys.
Stay safe out there.
All right, and in stream. There.
Stop recording.
Are you done recording? Have you stopped it? We're good.